Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. It's been about a month since we did a stream, but we're back for the off season. Today we are joined by Bob from BK Photo Page, Ace, you all know, Tom, and Jack. If you guys want to promote your social media pages, go right ahead.
How you doing? This is Ace, and you can find me on Facebook, Ace Ka, like in King the Ka.
Uh, I'm Jack. My Instagram is themeparkpics55.
I'm BK Photo Page on everything, basically. So if you look it up on any social media, it's going to be there.
You can follow me at Tom's Tracks 99. I might post something. I've been a little inactive these days, but yeah, who knows? Maybe this will be the off season where I get back into it.
So I'm currently trying to bring over our other guest here, if she wants to cooperate. Come here. There we go. This is the newest addition to the Hollywood household. This is Munchie.
Congratulations! What a wonderful, beautiful dog.
How old and what breed?
She's 4 months old and she's a husky mix. So I'm thinking she has some husky, some collie, well not collie, shepherd, a few different things.
You can tell by the eyes.
Insert
got-
obvious.
I don't know if it-
really cool.
Translates to the video, but she's got very, very blue eyes.
We were wondering what breed she was because the eyes are definitely husky, but she definitely looked like a mix. So I think I heard you guys are doing like the doggy DNA thing.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do that as soon as we can.
That's pretty cool.
She's actually sitting pretty good here. So if you guys have any questions, send them in. But first, there is something I do want to discuss a little bit, and that is Top Thrill Dragster. I know we all have been wondering what the situation is with Top Thrill Dragster, and Cedar Point confirmed that it will be reopening in 2024. So what do you guys think is going to happen to Dragster? Start with Ace. I'm curious what Ace has to say.
Well, first and foremost, I anticipate that Top Thrill Dragster is not just going to be the same as it was before. You give another year, we're looking at a repurposed dragster that's going to have more elements to it. And you know how King the Ka has that extra hill? I can see some inversions, quite a few things that'll be added to it. And of course, the LSM launch is definitely a given.
Yeah, Colin, you and I have talked about this a bunch, but given that I'm the closest one to it, I guess I don't know I don't necessarily know anything, but like there's been a lot of stuff confirmed. Like Tony Clark confirmed at our holiday party that the rides that were moved to the boardwalk were done strategically. I could see Corkscrew only having a year or two more, depending on what they're going to do, if they have to build outwards or not. I'm pretty sure they're going to put some kind of reverse spike or something on it. We were joking around, and I said they should either put a spike the other way and reverse the launch, and then shoot you, like swing launch you back up into the top hat backwards, which would be insane. Or if they put the launch track on the other side, shot you up the side with the helix and then or the spiral, and then back straight down the other side, like you'd be dropping 400 feet straight to the ground. But yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure they are going to go with LSMs. I'm pretty sure that's a given. I know that we were trying to figure out how they were going to do that, but I'm pretty sure they figured something out. And I really think it's Intamin working on the project. I don't think it's Zamperla like people are rumoring.
I also never had any doubt that Top Thrill was going to stay. I also think they'll do LSM launches, and I'm wondering if the layout's going to stay exactly the same, and they're just putting LSMs in. But I think after this teaser, they're building up a little too much to it for them to not do something different with the layout. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see something like in the way of Pantheon, more or less, in terms of ride experience. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think with Top Thrill Dragster, I personally think it's going to be Zamperla just because they're already working on another accelerator, turning it into an LSM coaster, and also Cedar Point's working a lot with Zamperla. But I'm not totally sure about the track just because it'd be interesting to see how Zamperla track would work with connecting to an Intamin coaster, while the one that's being refurbed in Canada is the exact same track, just put new launches on it. So if Top Thrill Dragster was getting new track for new elements, which I think it is, it'll just be interesting to see how that interfaces with the existing Intamin track.
So
What?
for me, I think I side a lot with Bob. I think that they're definitely going to extend the layout. At least I hope they will. I think just converting it to LSM and hyping it up as this big new thing would be kind of disappointing, if I'm being honest. So I think that they're going to add something to the layout. I think there's a couple different ways they could go about it. I think they could switch the launch to launch from the other side so that you twist up the top hat and then go straight down the top hat on the other side and then do some things over by corkscrew in that area. I think that'd be really cool. But I definitely think El Toro Ryan's videos, if you haven't watched them, I think he knows what he's talking about. Sounds like he has a pretty trustable source. So I think whatever he's saying is probably likely to happen, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I definitely concur with that. You just took the words right out of my mouth of Dragster going backwards, right up the spiral and then down where it came from originally. And of course, the layout, like I alluded to earlier. So you have to do that. Come on, you're looking at 24. It's 1 year from now. So it's not going to be just the same old Dragster. So we're looking at a big project. And then you saw the dirt that was removed right behind the station. You know, there's a whole bunch of work going on over there. I'm sure y'all saw that video. That was Toro Ryan, Colin. Am I correct with that video when Chase showed the dirt? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Cool.
All right. Munchie had to leave. She was getting a little squirmy. But we do have some comments in here from the chat. I'm going to first go over the ones that are from regarding Top Thrill Dragster, then we'll get into other questions. So if I'm not mistaken here, the first one comes from Coaster Hour. I think it will just be the addition of Zamperla Refurb and LSM launch. At most, I could see a reverse spike, while 2024 is a while from now. Keep in mind the PNE LSM launch will also be 2024. That is very true. Let's see. Another one from Coaster Hour. PNE coaster is receiving no layout changes, which is the point I'm trying to make. So much time does not confirm an extended layout. That is true. I mean, I don't know how complicated it could really be to retrofit with LSMs, but hey, I don't know enough yet. Another one from M&N Amusements. I think Bob's right about corkscrew. Its days might be numbered. I don't even ride it anymore. I don't ride it anymore either. It's not the most fun ride out there. Looks like that's everything you guys had to say about Top Thrill Dragster. Unless anyone here has anything to add.
The only thing is that I have trepidation about the capacity. I don't see that Zamperla launch being as powerful as the hydraulic launch. And they're talking about how many seats? Like less than 18, right? Less seat, less capacity. That's the only thing I have trepidation about.
I'm not too big on how low the capacity is going to end up being now.
No, that's the only concern. I love the idea, but I don't like that capacity.
No.
Yeah, if Intamin could do something like, or not Intamin, if Zamperla could do something like Intamin's high-speed switch track, where they could have train after train just going in, ready to load in the station into a swing launch or whatever they may add, that would definitely increase capacity, but I think it'll be kind of disappointing if it's such low capacity and they don't have that. Like if it's 12-person trains, like, I mean, Fahrenheit at Hershey or Maverick are both 12-person trains, and those are small and they don't have the best capacity. Maverick is okay just because it's such high output at once, but I'm just worried that Zamperla wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and I also think the whole thing with the word formula being in there, I think people got real excited about like, oh, they're like theming after Formula One, but I'm pretty sure the new formula thing just means literally LSMs. Like I think that's all that was going for.
Yeah.
Me too, but they built it up so much that I can see how people will think that there's going to be these massive layout changes, which before I was 100% thinking they're just going to put the LSMs in, but now after that video, I'm kind of curious.
I think if they don't make like major layout changes, they're going to have a lot of disappointed fans because in all actuality, it's probably not out of the question for them to have it ready with LSMs and no layout changes in 2023. I don't think that would be out of the question for them to pull off. Maybe not for opening day, but later on. But I think that, they really should make this a big deal. I mean, they're not going to get this kind of an opportunity again with this ride. And the main complaint about Top Thrill Dragster and King Dakar from all guests I've heard is that it's too short and there's not enough to it. So this is your golden opportunity to not only make it more reliable, but to also make it a better ride overall. I don't know if this was said earlier. I don't know how, say, Zamperla track would flush with Intamin track and like mixing the two. Maybe the Zamperla track would be rough. I really don't know. But I do think that they should do something other than just the LSM retrofit. And regarding a theme, I think personally they should go full on space theme. Magnum's already halfway
I
through
was
the space.
thinking with Gemini there that they might do something like that actually.
Because Gemini Midway, it's kind of themed to like the 80s, honestly. It's kind of like a disco over there, or 70s, however you want to phrase it. But they could really take Gemini Midway all the way back to, I guess, up by where those flat rides are getting moved, and just theme that whole area to space, kind of in an Orion sense. And Top Thrill Dragster would be perfect to be themed to space.
Wow.
I mean, we saw from L2 Orion's video that they're going to make the supports gray. And I think that could definitely work well. I don't know if they're going to repaint the track. They probably won't. But there's just so much they could do. I think a space theme would be absolutely perfect, especially the Magnum right there.
Yeah. They did have disaster transport. That was a space theme. So, yeah, I could see that. But at the end of the day, we're all going to be surprised. Let's just hope that it's in a positive sense. And I am optimistic because of all the money that they got from Cedar Fair, that they're going to definitely put some good money into this dragster repurposed. I could see that. So that's the optimism I have for Dragster in 24.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably about it for Dragster discussion. There's only so much to talk about. But overall, I'm somewhat excited. I think it's possible we're all going to get disappointed, but it's Cedar Point. They usually pull off something pretty cool. So I guess we'll see. Let me scroll back up to the top of the chat and say hello to everyone. Howdy from New Jersey, Coaster Family Feud. Hello, everyone. Yes, Huskies are great. Top Thrill Aster coming 2024. Ace, what do you think about that?
I think it's cool.
What Six Flags parks are going to get a dueling Skyline coaster this year after Fiesta in Georgia? Now, I've heard a heavy rumor that Six Flags bought 5 of these, all the dueling models. That's what I've heard. So 2 down, 3 to go. I think New England, I'm leaning towards no with New England.
Why?
I'm not saying they shouldn't get one. I'm just thinking they won't get one this year.
Oh, wow.
Louis has got to get one.
I think St. Louis
Discovery Kingdom might get one.
I think Discovery Kingdom could be there. And
after their debacle with that other thing.
With Harley Quinn. Well, that's my logic there.
I'm thinking there's a couple other parks, like for the last spot. I think Great Adventure would be great for one. We spotted that clearing area over by the bridge. Not clearing, the markers. So it's a possibility, but that's kind of a shot in the dark. I do think New England would be a good spot for one, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to give them their big coaster maybe for 2024 and then go from there. Great America supposedly already confirmed they are not getting a new coaster yet. So there's not really much left. Maybe Six Flags America? I don't know.
I was going to say Six Flags America, and honestly, I would probably put one of these single rail things in there before Great Adventure.
Yeah.
They're long overdue for something.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people commenting, especially on the recent video where I went over the announcement from over Georgia, that it's kind of like Six Flags going back to being cheap and cloning rides. Personally, I'm not against this. I think it's a really cool concept. Yeah. I think they really need to start appealing to everyone, really. I mean, if they want to bring families in, they're going to have to get kiddie coasters and family coasters in there. And I think this is a bit of a family coaster. And on top of that,
and even if you're cloning,
to show that they're investing in the parks.
Even if you're putting in clones, like if you space them out, like the average person's not going to all these Six Flags parks. The percent of like coaster enthusiasts and people traveling is super low. So it's like that will be a new experience for most people, no matter what.
Yeah, I concur with that, because if you spread them out throughout the country, okay, you already have Fiesta Texas and over Georgia, so that means probably something in the West. Just spread them out. Yeah, that's a great idea. Spread them all throughout and definitely don't give them to Great Adventure, because we have the Jersey Devil.
Well, I don't know.
That'd be cool though to have both next to each other.
I think it could come to Great Adventure at some point. I don't think that just because they have Jersey Devil doesn't mean, because Fiesta Texas is getting one and they have Wonder Woman, and also on the topic of just being a cloned ride, I think it's more of a interesting cloned ride than a lot of past clone rides, just because it's a family coaster with the parks need. It'll look cool. It has apparently the lighting panels that were shown at IAPA are going to be on the track, which I don't know, maybe could have some cool effects. Maybe they would put it for different seasons of the year. They could change them up a little bit.
I think the worst thing they could do though is start to put this in like parks really close together. Like Georgia's got one in the east. It would be not the best move to me if then you gave one to Great Adventure and New England, or Great Adventure and America, where they're like relatively close to each other. But so many attractions, they've done that with so many other things already. So it's like it's just kind of a nitpick thing for me.
So yeah, you could probably do New England, Discovery Kingdom. You already got over Georgia, and Fiesta Texas, and you could do Great America. Yeah, spread them out. Like Bob alluded to, everybody doesn't, potential people that travel like we do is super low.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up, what do you think? Oh, this is it. What do you think about the B&M supply materials coming to Great Adventure? Like I said in the video, I'm thinking it's Nitro's fourth train. Apologies for the background noise. Munchie's a little upset.
Oh boy.
But I think Nitro's fourth train is that, because truly there's no other coasters at the park I could think of as needing another part that weighs that much, truly. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's Nitro's fourth train.
It could be that, and we know that's coming. I don't know. There's no other B&M that really has any apparent needs in the park other than Nitro, and even Nitro really didn't need anything. But we already knew about this fourth train, and I think we'd probably see more deliveries if this was relating to a new coaster.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not anything for a new coaster. They already said they're getting the train. I mean, the only possibility is, I know it might have just gotten replaced, but I know the Batman lift motor had been going out for a while, but I think they replaced that last season.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably the fourth train for Nitro, which will be nice, because then they can run 3 trains during Holiday in the Park.
Exactly.
All right,
there have been days where they definitely didn't need 3 trains during Holiday in the Park, though. But like, it'll be really good for I think you went over this in the video, Colin, just for the routine maintenance. I know it's Skull Mountain. Skull Mountain does have 3 trains, and so does Mine Train. And one will just sit off and get heavy maintenance to it while the other 2 are on the track. So with Nitro, I guess you get more flexibility by having that fourth train. And especially during Fright Fest, I'm sure, where you're going to want to have 3 trains, it'll be nice to have one that can just wait either and serve for parts or anything like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up putting the new train every year on the week between like the summer season and Fright Fest starting, just because it gives them a little time, and then they can start doing the full refurb of the next train and get it done before the park opens for the spring. And also, I know they do the same thing on Ka now. They used to run with 4 trains, but now they just have 3 trains on, and the 4th train usually shows up midway through the summer, and then they sometimes cycle it out.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
All right, next up. Hey, Colin, I was at Six Flags Over Texas today. It was fun, but not that crowded. I made it to my 400th coaster count on Texas Giant. That's awesome, dude. Really,
that's great.
I'm nowhere near there yet, so congratulations.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely want to get back to Six Flags Over Texas soon.
Yeah,
Haven't
I
been there
plan
since 2020.
on going back for the first time in 3 years because they got to go
What are you at, Colin?
What?
What are you at?
What count?
Yeah.
count. Yeah,
I don't remember actually. I gotta look. I don't know why I can't remember this number. 326.
In doubt, I definitely still have the lowest.
I didn't give very many this year.
I
Where
think
you
I'm,
at, Bob?
I'm,
barely any this year.
I'm still at 468.
yeah. So
I'm at 162. It's more
okay.
respectable than where I was a year ago.
Yeah, you definitely racked up in Kings Island, the Cedar Point, and Carowinds.
Jack, what
And
are you at?
You asking me?
I'm a little over 230. I just hit that at Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Nice.
Oh, cool. So yeah, I'm definitely going to Texas because of Cotterland, and I got a lot of coasters to rack up in Fiesta, Texas, and also the Aquaman. I'm looking forward to that too. And then you also have those are pretty much most of the coasters that are going to be new, and then
I
they're not going to have
forgot
anything.
Aquaman existed.
Yeah, man, it's good. You know what happened with Aquaman? It was originally supposed to have one train. Now they added the turntable, and now you're gonna have two, which will be great for the capacity. You need it for that large park in the Dallas Arlington area.
Do we know that it's definitely opening next season?
Absolutely. They already started testing. They already started testing it.
Good.
It's definitely opening. They have that thing's been 4 years already. Wow, we're supposed to open in 2020. We're going into it's just like what SeaWorld did with Iron Gwazi and Icebreaker and
It's funny because when
Pantene.
I went in 2020, it was basically fully done, just without the trains on the track and everything. And we were, if we were to say go now, it'd be crazy to have waited 3 years, come back, and it's still not open.
Wow.
Yeah, remember I took the picture flipping it off, and then I got COVID.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh man.
You talk about something. Jeez. Yeah, but over Texas, it's definitely it's an interesting park. I like the park. Of course I like personally Fiesta Texas better.
I do too.
Because it has better coasters or better overall lineup, especially with Dr. Diabolical and the new coasters that are open up. What happened?
It has Jeff, who's like
yes.
Oh, Jeff Seaberg is the best.
Yeah.
That man, listen, well, when I was waiting for Superman during the pandemic year of 2020, they were making us go to the second row and all the other rows, like half the rows to every other row. And he came there just before I got on and, hey, what are you guys doing? He opened up the first row. He's all about the people. Colin could allude to that. He could attest to that. Colin and Phil, when they went down and how great of a president he is. He's the best. He is a great guy.
I'm pretty sure I've said this on the stream before, but back in 2020 when we were there, the park, I think it might have been a Friday. I don't remember what kind of night it was, but we were staying there for the nighttime show because there are fireworks shows in Texas. They're probably the best I've ever seen. Better than Disney, better than Universal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Got a great fireworks show.
So it wound up being a pretty rainy night that night. I think there was maybe 200 people left in the park because everything was closed, but they were still doing the fireworks. Unlike most parks that canceled, they were still doing the fireworks. We wound up being on the other side of the park, and we met Jeff. And Jeff said, "Here, let me take you guys over there." So we walked through the backstage area where Dr. Diabolical was. Wow. He walked us all the way over to right where they were launching the fireworks. We had a perfect view. It was raining, but they still put it on. Did the full show. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He knows how to run a park. That's for sure.
Yeah, they don't play when it comes to fireworks. I remember one time I was getting to that area late because, you know me, I do a million things on my road trip. So I was just leaving Six Flags Over Texas. I so happened to get to Six Flags Fiesta Texas San Antonio just in time for the fireworks show. And I saw it on top of the cliff. Like literally, I could see it. It was a beautiful show. A lot of fireworks.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, next up, it's another dragster thing. I do want to talk about it, though. Do you think dragster will be taller than Ka? I don't think they're touching that tower. That tower is staying exactly the way it is right now.
No, they can't.
They would probably, if they added that much weight, they would probably have like like when you put in footers and things, isn't it set for X amount of weight?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can't just add something. It's like trying to add to the Empire State Building to make it like the Burj Dubai. Make it no, you can't do that. No, the foundation's everything. Yeah, it's not made to withstand all that extra stuff. No way.
When they added Zumanjaro onto Ka, they had to add new supports and new footers to handle the weight.
To withstand that, to accommodate that, to accommodate that weight. That makes sense. But no, they're not touching that tower. And then you have to do all the. You have to like. Then you talk about, wow, what are you gonna do when you have to take out that top hat? Then add to it? No. That's not. That's impractical. So they'll probably add the top spike to be tall, but I don't think that'll be taller than Ka.
Personally, I still find it pretty surprising that at Great Adventure, nothing has been done with Ka after the Dragster accident. I mean,
Wow.
considering that with Zumanjaro, you walk very close to Ka, and
Yeah.
Zumanjaro is literally right under Ka. And the queue system, there's definitely a lot of like spots where if the same thing that happened on Dragster happened on Ka, something could happen. I'm not saying it will because
Wow.
I have a lot of faith in their maintenance, but I'm just surprised that nothing has been done to Ka, and hopefully Ka will stay the way it is for the rest of its life, because personally, I think LSM simply will not do the same as what the hydraulic launch.
Now, what exactly? What the hell flew off the train? And aren't the trains a little different from Ka and Dragster?
Very different.
It was an L plate, wasn't
What
it?
the hell happened?
No, it was a plate on the track. I thought, or it caught.
Jesus Christ.
It was a plate.
Yeah.
So what it was
an L-shaped
is
plate.
it's called a flag plate. It sticks down on the back of the train, and it's what the sensors on the track like touch or pass against to sense the train. So what happened is the flag plate just flew off, and I think it was pretty straight. I remember when the accident first happened, the person I believe was in like the main queue area in the middle. So not like right next to the track, which is why it's I can agree with Colin that it's a little concerning that Ka is like super close to the queue line for Zumanjaro. But also I know that it's not as close as Dragster was, and also the original queue for Ka went directly under the track
Exactly.
like Dragster's. Yeah, and after the cable snapped, they had to change it so that no one got hurt when the cable snapped.
Thank
they
God,
just changed
nobody
it
was there.
out of a precautionary measure. But now that this happened, I think the only thing they would possibly do is maybe add like even just a queue line cover to part of Zumanjaro, but who knows?
Yeah, that's true. That it's not close as we were to Dragster when it was operating. So yeah, I could see that. So it's thank goodness that Zoo is not that close to Ka.
Next question we have here is, what B&M do you think Great Adventure would get for 2024? I think we all have the same stance on it at this point.
Giga.
I would be very surprised if a Giga doesn't happen, if a
coaster dive coaster
come in 2024. I think a dive coaster would also be great for the park. I think it would fit really well, but I think a Giga just makes a bigger splash. It'll have the same effect that a ride like King to Ka, El Toro, or Nitro had when they were first built. Those were all massive coasters that were all some of the best for their time. And I think Great Adventure could really use one of those right now. Like Jersey Devil was a great ride, but it was nothing on the scale of Nitro or Ka or Toro. Even though it may be as good, I still think that those had a bigger impact. And I think if Great Adventure does get a Giga, and it is big and it is awesome, I think it will have a massive impact on the park, both in attendance, morale, everything. I think everything's going to boost on top of everything that they're doing to prepare the park for the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, and that speaks for itself. And now, if we do, I don't want this, but if we do get the dive coaster, it has to be a custom version. I don't see them getting 150 foot tall, just like pretty much a Dr. Diabolical clone for Great Adventure. It'd have to be like something like Val Raven or Yukon Striker in Canada's Wonderland. But let's hope we get our Giga. That'll be great. That would be they'll have the same magnitude as the coasters that Colin alluded to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I think I think a good parameter for the next Great Adventure coaster should be something to change the skyline. And yeah, a Giga or a dive will do.
Yeah, Giga.
We'll definitely do that.
I think a dive coaster will be a Six Flags Great Adventure in 2024. I think a dive coaster would fit really good at Great Adventure. I think it's another coaster to fill another gap, but I think they should hold off on that till a couple of years after and just hit the Giga and then have a slew of other big thrill coasters to follow up the Giga.
And where you think it would fit in? Let's say if we got our Giga, right, and they took out the dilapidated arena, where you think the dive coaster would be able to go then? Would it? Oh, you know what? Actually, probably right behind Batman, right? Take out the arena, the old Batman stunt show, and put it over
Probably
there.
so. It's kind of too close to the employee area, in my
Oh,
opinion.
Yeah.
I think they have a better spot right next to Justice League where that Terror Trail currently is. It'd
yeah,
be a prime
that's
spot for a
Chiller.
dive coaster.
Where the
There
Chiller
in the
used to be.
former the Baldwin's Jungle Land area would be really good for something like that.
That would work.
You
too,
know
but then
what?
it'd be
The
kind of
Rolling
dwarfed by
Thunder.
Cobb.
Oh yeah, the Rolling Thunder area. They could put it in the
That's what
Rolling
he
Thunder
did.
area, right? Is there enough space
Probably.
there with the Bollins, like Tom had mentioned, with
They
a jump?
could, but I think a smaller launch coaster would be better over there. That way, it
Yeah.
doesn't get dwarfed by Ka or Toro or anything.
Yeah, and they could connect Ka and Toro. That'd be nice to have a pathway to connect those two directly.
I think that what Colin originally said with putting it near the Justice League and where that maze is right now would be good, at least for
Yeah.
like the station. And then they could set it up so that it dives like, I don't know, under the main entrance or does some cool element over the main entrance. I think that would be really like appealing just as a new coaster. And then the building where the right stuff used to be in, if they ever decide to remove that, they could put a couple elements over there, and then it would cross back over the entrance to where Justice League is.
So
I don't
Funny you
basically,
say that because I actually have a video, scheduled to come out down the line, and one of my things I have on that wish list is exactly what you just described.
so so Colin, we're talking about basically anticipating a gatekeeper like coaster, pretty much for the new entrance, correct? Like a
I
gatekeeper.
think that would be really good. I think
That would
they
make
already-
a lot of sense. Yeah, to
the
have
problem
that
is
would
they
be.
already have that nice new security entrance, so it
Yeah.
would kind of mess with that. But
That still would be nice. That keep them both. That'd be really nice. That's a great idea to
I
have
don't
the
think
dive
they're
coaster there.
gonna. I don't think they're gonna get rid of the right stuff building though, because yes, it's a giant eyesore, but I think they just use it too much for the terror trails, and then also the back of it is kind of like a maintenance electric shop over there, so it's kind of like a home base for a lot of the maintenance teams. So for that reason, I don't think they'd get rid of it. But I agree, it's just been sitting on well, it does get used for Fright Fest trails, but like generally speaking, it's not used. I'd be sad to see it go, but at the same time, it's not really being used for anything super consistently other than for maintenance. If they had somewhere else that they could move that maintenance shop, then I think you could talk about getting rid of that building. But for now, it's probably safe and it'll stay just for that purpose.
Yeah, the other option is they could get rid of the go-karts because they're kind of not popular anymore.
Yeah.
Or they don't have to get rid of either of them. I'm looking at an overhead map of that area right now, and you could fit coaster supports like in the middle of that go-kart track because there's a pretty large area of grass if you just wanted it to jump over to that side of the pathway for just maybe one element, and then it would just go back to the other side and go back around where Justice League is, or there's some grass behind Cyborg. They could probably get rid of that front part of the catering area that wasn't it? It was Merry Marketplace for like 1 year, right?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was.
Yeah, then I feel like they could get rid of that and use that area without having to get rid of the maintenance building.
yeah. All right, next. Do you think Great America get one of the Peace Getty coasters? Supposedly at No Coaster Con, they said that they don't have any plans for a ride. So I'm going to say no for now, but I think they would be a really good fit for one of them. Honestly, I think almost every Six Flags park would be a really good fit for one of those coasters. There's so many spots I could see them all at. I think that would be a good coaster to have at every Six Flags park, as it's not like a staple coaster, but it's a good coaster to fill a gap for every park. It's a family thrill coaster. Well, not really family thrill. It's a kiddie family coaster, like a step up.
Family. Your family kitty, yeah.
Yeah, I think after 2023, it'll kind of be like a trial year. They'll see how popular they are, and I'm sure they'll be really popular with kids because it's just something fun. They can race their friend on the other coaster, and they're kind of like it's a kiddie coaster, but it's a little bit more of a thrilling family coaster, I'd say. We don't really know how it's going to ride, but I feel like 2024 parks that obviously aren't getting like a huge addition like Great Adventure might, I think would get a kiddie dueling coaster from Skyline.
We're going to pause just for a quick second. Thank you, Matthew Adonis, for the super chat. Have you ever rode Batman and Robin the Chiller?
Go get Phil.
Yeah,
Phil.
he has. I haven't because
Phil, go in
it
Colin's room
closed in
right now and answer this
2007 and I was
question.
born in 2006. So
Well,
I believe the only
that-
one of us here that rode it was Ace, right?
Oh my
I've-
God!
I've
Listen,
Walked up to
Go
it a
ahead.
billion times. I've been in the station. I never got to ride it because I was never tall enough. I was 7 years old.
ah,
That's
oh
sad.
my God!
Damn.
That's exactly how I feel about the freaking one in King's Dominions, Hypersonic XLC.
Hypersonic XLC. Yeah.
I missed it by a freaking couple of years because when I got the King's Dominion, it was 2010, pretty much. Like after they had it, because I had gone to King's Dominion in '93, they didn't have nothing back then. But yeah, I've been on Chiller, and Chiller was amazing. Like I used to be so lucky, and let me tell you, that line was brutal with the capacity. I would ride it 4 times on each side. I'm one of the few that got lucky to ride the Batman version and the Robin on both sides. I used to stay on Chiller, and that was before Nitro and Medusa and everything opened. So that was the big cheese back then. Because Scream
May I
Machine
interject?
was, declining. That was the big one.
May,
Yeah,
may I
everybody chose it.
interject?
Yeah.
May I interject, Mr. Mason?
Okay, Mr. Petronani.
So as far as the Chiller goes, I rode every incarnation of that ride, both sides,
Yep,
and it was pretty nuts.
it
And
was.
the other person that rode it was Brian Bola, which is not here tonight.
Yeah.
But it was pretty nuts. The first year it was open, if you had earrings, which a lot of people did, you had to take them out, or your ears would come off bloody. That's how brutal it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Did you get to ride it in '97 when it first opened for the for
Yes.
the first weekend?
Yeah, no, I don't
Oh,
remember
wow.
the first weekend. I don't know if it has to be the first weekend, but I did ride it that first year.
I didn't. Yeah, I missed it.
Oh,
They
you
closed it. No,
Oh,
they only
I
had
got
one
that
weekend.
on you.
Yeah, you got that on me, but it's all good
Man,
because I got to
Wow.
ride it from '98 all the way to 2006. Well, the year they closed, 2006. That was the last day
Wow.
they had it open. So I got to
I
ride it
can't
from
believe
there.
I got something on you.
So I got the over
I
shoulder
got that on
harnesses,
you.
the
I got
lap
the Iron
bar.
Gwazi, the Hawaiian Gwazi on you too. All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but Chiller was an amazing coaster. I wish you would have gotten to ride that coaster, Tom.
I was so close. I walked up.
How many
I literally
inches?
walked to it a billion times.
How many inches were you
Oh,
should shoot for it?
I don't remember. Less than 54, obviously, because I'm pretty sure that would have been the height requirement.
Should have did
That
the
just seems
problem
to be like
child
the
thing.
standard. Yeah.
Stuff some tissue in your shoes or wear the platforms.
We did that to get me on the Flying Wave, the old swing ride that used to be where Skyscraper is now. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But, never did it for Chiller.
I know you did it, Colin, for certain things.
Simulator Texan coasters. What was that, Ace?
I know you did it a few times to get on a couple of things.
Yeah,
And
I did.
yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Man, what a great coaster, Chiller. Great coasters, yeah.
I have heard in both video form
Yes.
and from Ace and my dad that it had a ridiculously
Yes.
loud roar. Mr.
Oh,
Williams
yeah,
did a really loud
well, go
roar,
ahead,
so I
go
went to
ahead.
Dad.
That is like a core memory of a sound from
Yes.
our childhood. Just like you could walk anywhere in Great Adventure and hear Chiller.
Every time that damn thing would launch, boom, boom. And then you would hear, like when you was walking out of the exit of that ride, it was so loud. The decibels were like probably the same. It was definitely up there what an arena would be. It was real loud on the
Was
ears.
it louder than Superman at Magic Mountain?
No, but it was loud. Yeah, that's a freaking plane. Sound like a plane taking off
Deafening, yeah.
when you go up under that. Superman, Magic Mountain, man. Wow, what great memories of that ride.
Let's see. Next up, let's see if I can find something here.
Someone.
I think Six Flags America and St. Louis are the two that I think is getting one, but I could be wrong. Just a prediction. Definitely possible. I think
can
those
see
would
that.
be the best candidates.
Yeah, I can see that.
Six Flags Great America get a new coaster or family attraction in 24. I'm gonna say maybe.
Possibly.
I'm not too sure about Great America rumors personally.
It's hard because remember 19 they got the Max Force, so possibly or possibly not.
Six Flags likely bought these rides last minute for 2023. Not a ton of options with so little time to manufacture the ride. I think next year's editions will look very different. That's true. Six Flags just bought them at IAPA, so they really did not have much time at all to pick which parks they were going to and everything. So
they seem relatively easy to build.
What was that?
They seem relatively easy to build, so I'm sure most of these will be ready to go by Memorial Day.
Yeah, they go up really quick. I think the Six Flags CEO needs to change something interesting. I think interesting things are to come soon. That's what I think.
I think so too.
Let's see.
Come on, want to go see mommy? Come on.
All right.
Let her down.
I'm gonna let the dog go. Let's see. Honestly, I believe that Cedar Fair will take over some Six Flags parks by 2025.
They don't want them.
I don't think they want them either.
No. They're doing too well. Come on now.
Cedar Fair seems like the company who doesn't like to take risks and likes to stick to formula and not go crazy. And I think they already went crazy enough when they bought Paramount in 2006. And I don't think they're doing anything like that again.
I can believe it or not, especially for us Cedar Fair pass holders, the majority of us have a Cedar Fair pass. It's the best thing that ever happened. You're talking about 5 parks that were added. It saves us a lot of money. And they're great parks too, the former Paramount parks that Cedar Fair controls now.
The only way I could ever see Cedar Fair buying Six Flags parks is if they were buying them out of bankruptcy or something.
Yeah. Damn, they're free, or cheap.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with this. Fiesta Texas is definitely better than Over Texas. Over Texas is not a bad park, but Fiesta Texas is, like, in my opinion, up there as the crown jewel of Six Flags.
Fiesta Texas is really well themed, and it also feels like a more modern park. Like Over Texas feels like, because it's the old park, it's like very caught in the past, and they don't want to change things very much.
And you also have to understand the park is damn near new, 30 years old. It just celebrated their 30th anniversary. Am I right, Colin? Yes. 30-year anniversary. The park is brand new.
92.
And the park is exquisite compared to all of the Six Flags, as far as I'm concerned. It's the best themed and everything. It's perfectly run compared to the other parks.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing.
It is
very well taken care of.
The Quarry War is excellent. That's the staple of the park.
If Cedar Fair buys Great Adventure, I bet you will be crazy.
Your dad had a really good response to that in the chat.
Listen.
There you go.
Truthfully, I could see SeaWorld buying Great Adventure. They have the animal experience from the safari.
Yeah.
And emphasis on a lot of former Six Flags employees work for SeaWorld / Busch. I think, truthfully, that is the best thing that could happen to Great Adventure. If SeaWorld bought Great Adventure, Great Adventure would be turned into one of the greatest parks out there.
Well, don't we have the record for acreage over Animal Kingdom, or tied 500 acres with that park when you combine both of those?
Technically, Great Adventure's more.
It is. So that would be sick. I wouldn't mind SeaWorld, now that you alluded to that with the SeaWorld buying it. Wow. That would be insane with the animal encounters and experiences.
Why y'all talk about Gav getting sold? I do want to make sure it's known. Usually when I talk about something, it's because I've heard rumors. I've heard no rumors of this. As far as I know, Six Flags has no intentions on selling Great Adventure. I don't think
this is all pure speculation.
We ran with it.
Yeah, there's no way. This is not 2008, which they came close to selling Magic Mountain. No way. The Great Adventure and Magic Mountain are equal when it comes to the crown jewels of the Six Flags chain. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Those two are the big ones. The ginormous parks.
And there's some further clarification there. If it was sold, SeaWorld would be the best match.
It would. Even better than Cedar Fair. Because Cedar Fair wouldn't know what to do with that safari. Yeah. You talking about that's most of the land right there, the safari land. Yeah, SeaWorld makes a ton of sense. Wow.
I think Reimagined Dragster is going to be big and amazing. I really hope it is, truly.
I believe
go
so.
All out.
The thing that really think about it, the land grab in Santa Clara, California, where the 49ers stadium is at,
right?
That's $300 million, right? That's the only reason why that's indicative of Dragster being expanded. That's the reason why I'm like pretty much pushing towards that. It makes too much sense. That's a lot of money out there. They have to. That's their giant coaster anyway. The Top Thrill Dragster. It's an icon.
Yeah.
You have to do that. Come on now. You're looking at 24 when it's been closed since 21. So you have the coaster closed for 2 years to not do that. No. You have to do something. For having the Dragster closed for 2.5 years, you have to come back stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ka being worse made it more accident proof.
Wow.
Maybe. It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think Ka is a little worse than what Dragster was, but Ka is still absolutely amazing.
Oh, I am Mr. Ka. So
just Dragster was smoother, of course, and the lap bar made it. Of course, I was missing that camelback, and it also has no trim going down the drop, whereas Ka has that trim and kills any great airtime you get in the back row, whereas Dragster, Dragster you just get ejected right out of the back.
Why do they have the freaking trim on the top of our car?
Supposedly the reason they did it was to make it more so you're hanging there and get to take in the view, sort of like a dive coaster effect. But honestly, I think it just kind of makes it worse.
Leave it, leave it the heck alone. Like, why would you just have that up there? So, but yeah, that extra speed on car does kind of make you go like this. It makes us. Looks like what I'm doing on my camera. It definitely does that. Because Brian alluded to it. With being like a few miles faster than Dragster. That's the difference.
All right, next up, I can say confidently Dragster will be nuts in 2024. Yeah. I hope I can agree with you when we get there. Giga or bust? Pretty much.
Giga.
Pretty much.
Giga.
What is up with El Toro? Is it getting a retracking? Parts
Some of it
are definitely being retracked, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of retracking. I don't know if it's actual Intamin retracking or just regular wood. I have no idea. But
it remains to be seen if it'll be actually ready for opening day.
Yes, that I will keep you guys posted on as much as I can.
Well, please do that because it was very hilarious when it was running up the bulls. Tom, myself, you, your father. Wow. The Grays, whoever was there. Wow, that was one hell of a time to running of the bulls. So let's hope we have running of the bulls.
Honestly, Dragster is going to rival Steel Vengeance for best coaster in the park based off what I've seen. Well, I would love to see what you've seen. Let's put it that way.
That's going to be hard.
I mean, with speed of Dragster combined with the height, and then if they do more,
that would be nice.
That they will. If they do really cool elements, it could be amazing.
Yeah. I was thinking about that.
Even if they just did stuff like Accelerator has with the turns and stuff, whatever, extended 30 more seconds or something.
And then now with the new age design philosophy of RMC and now new Intamin, I know Zamperla is a little different, obviously, but I think they would be trying to replicate something like that. Maybe put in a wave turn, some twisted airtime hills. Who knows?
Listen, a great idea, guys. You add just 2 elements. Think about it. You just expanded by a few feet and add those 2 elements. You would make Dragster that much better.
We're gonna reverse the launch, come straight down, and then put a giant vertical loop in it.
Oh, I like that idea. I really do. To go up that twist and down, straight down, but where once came up. Oh, that'd be nice.
Vertical loop.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, have a loop and a turn. That'd be nice.
Or if they're just worried about the launch hitting people, might as well just add a whole big lift hill.
Wow.
Six Flags makes Great Adventure wait 15 years for an original coaster. Also, Six Flags gives them Jersey Devil and clones it. Yeah, that's about how I felt when Wonder Woman got announced.
So basically, we are definitely due for that gig after all this time. I've been so chance of having a Giga. 2008, we didn't get it. About time you give us our damn Giga and make it for those
it's not
60
an
years.
exact clone you turn out of the station, so it's
You
kind of
get that stupid little overbank that makes it valley all the time.
It is really close to being a clone. Wonder Woman, Flight of Courage, and Magic Mountain. It's true.
I'm sorry, it's a clone. There's no way around it. It's a clone. But honestly, I don't really mind. Like, as more time has gone on, I don't mind them having cloned that over there. If they cloned it to, say, New England, or if they cloned it again and make too many clones, I think that's going to be a disaster. I mean, obviously, guests won't really care, but from a coaster enthusiast standpoint, it'll be very upsetting.
We're going to know. Yeah,
I
we're
think
going
they
to know.
should make some modifications and change it up a little bit for future editions.
I think like a clone of Stunt Pilot would be like probably like the perfect Raptor to clone if they are gonna, because it's so compact. They worked out like the small issues from Wonder Woman and Railblazer with Stunt Pilot. But yeah.
I think Stunt Pilot would be perfect to clone at Over Georgia. And Tom, I know you'll know what I'm talking about, right where that splash ride used to be next to
where there are rapids riders.
Yeah.
That's why I'm really hoping they don't put their skyline there. I think they should put their skyline in Bugs Bunny Boomtown. I think that'd be a much better spot for it. But anyways, have any of you went on Wonder Woman Flight of Courage? And if I ever go back to Magic Mountain, what should I expect when I go there in the future? Ace, I'm assuming it's literally just
listen.
Jersey Devil.
Well, Jersey Devil's better because the theming, I love them both, but Jersey Devil's theming makes it way better. But it's a beautiful ride. I like the setup. I like the station. I like the Flash Pass ADA entrance. It's really nice. It's air conditioned. It's a beautiful coaster. Got on it like 10 times on one of my days. Oh, it was really nice.
So would you say it runs faster than Jersey Devil?
About the same. I don't see the difference in speed. About the same. It was horrible.
Are those last two elements better, worse?
Yeah,
different?
that's the only part that's better than Devil. Yeah, those are nice. Those are nice at the end. But I like my Devil just as much as Courage. You know, they're both good. Yeah. So now you're not losing anything really, because you got Jersey Devil here. So, but I know y'all can't wait to try it when y'all do get out there.
Remember, John Winkler said multiple times that what was coming for 2024 would change Great Adventure forever.
And that's going to happen.
Let's see.
Wow. Pretty cool.
I think Great America will get the next Raptor clone. I think Great America would be perfect park for it. I've heard rumors that Over Texas is getting one, which I wouldn't be against. I just kind of find that a little odd, considering Fiesta Texas already has a small Raptor. But I wouldn't be against that.
4.5 hours apart, both parks, so you know that very well. 4.5 hours apart.
That drive is so boring.
Oh,
one straight roads all the way down.
Bob, all you got to do is just play some music.
Oh, I know.
And whatever, blast that sucker off, and you're good.
And it's like speed limit 80, so you can easily.
Oh hell, 75.
Fly, yeah.
Oh, you take the other way. I take the I-35, which is one hell of a busy road. 70 miles per hour. I go 80. You know,
the one I was on was 80. I think it was the one.
You had to pay a toll for that one. Yeah, the straight road.
I don't remember that, but whatever.
You don't pay tolls, do you, Ace?
No. I'm very frugal. No. I hate tolls. Oh my god, I'd rather go the long way. I love driving, so I don't mind it. 20-30 minutes is not going to kill me driving. I can use that money for other things.
All right, next up. Why doesn't any other Six Flags park get a fourth dimension coaster, and how much does a ride like that cost?
Like $50 million.
Ridiculously expensive and ridiculously hard to maintain. That's why there's only 3 in the world.
How much are they?
Well, the
Echinaika.
The newest. What's the other one?
Dynaconda?
Yeah, that one. From what I understand, is very reliable since it's like way more modern. But
how much?
Oh, I mean, well, X was like 40, but that was because of all the like BS. But I mean, I'm sure Dynaconda probably costs at 40 plus. I bet. I didn't really look it up.
Wow.
I would assume 30 to 40 million.
Yeah,
maybe more.
Then
what would be
now 50 plus? I bet.
What would be the best Six Flags park? Now we're on the question. Which y'all think would be the best park to get that? Because we already got the Joker clones, which includes the Batman at Fiesta Texas. Where would be the best park to get that?
First thing you got to consider is land space for that.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say Magic Mountain, then I realized how stupid that was to say that.
X2. Yeah.
We'll just make them dual. Man, that's a tough question because like land space is the big question for that more than anything else.
Wow.
Which
I
park
think-
is worthy of it and has the land space?
I think Great Adventure should put it right in between Ka and Toro.
Oh man, well, can you
the
imagine what
Holy
you think?
Trinity over there?
Wow, what you think, guys?
I don't think they're worthy of it, but Six Flags America might have decent land between Batwing and Superman.
That is kind
Not
of
necessarily that they're worthy.
No, they're
of it.
not worthy of it. No.
No.
What about Great Adventure? Colin's idea, putting it right where the Rolling Thunder was at.
I mean, it could work physically there. I just
That'd be
don't
nice.
see any company really buying a 4D coaster from SNS just because I just looked up Egenica was around $30 million and they can get, I forget how much like just an RMC like ground up coaster is, but it's at least under half of that.
Oh,
It's like around 15 million, I think, for an RMC.
Yeah, so for
What-
half of that, they could get a coaster that would probably appeal more to the general public than like an X2 clone.
so yeah,
Oh,
you
I got-
talking
Good
about a
information for
hyper?
Coaster Hour. Dynaconda was listed at 20 million. Egenica was around 32 million,
That
but that
makes
was
sense.
more probably due to size and earthquake proofing. Very true.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
We were Sean and I were having a conversation earlier, Colin, about like what because like this is Carowind's 50th anniversary this year, so I thought they'd add a coaster, but they're adding that big new section. But we're talking about like what they should add, and I said like they've been sitting on that stupid plot of land where the old water ride was,
Rapids
when you
ride
walked
is,
in
yeah.
forever, and it's like if you just buy a freaking GCI and put it in there, then you could turn around an RMC hurler in a few years because they're not going to RMC hurler until they have another wooden coaster. Because if you do,
Right.
you
Right,
don't
we
have
talked
anything
about that a
then.
lot.
So I like it's like, can you just build a GCI or a gravity group coaster in there so that you can turn around and RMC that eventually?
Yeah.
You speaking of RMCing, I did get on Thunder Run. That was 2 credits out, by the way. What you think they could have done in regards to RMCing that before they tore it down in 15, 16, or 17?
You mean Thunder Road?
Thunder Road, excuse me. What you think they could have done with that Thunder Road?
Well, isn't that where Fury? Wasn't that where Fury is now?
No. Fury was
That's
there
where the
when
water park
it's-
is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
on
the water
line.
park
They
expansion.
expanded the water park. I
They
rode it my
expanded.
very
Amazing
first. I
one.
rode Thunder Road my very first time at Carowinds in 2013. It was the same year Fury opened, so or the year before rather. So it was like 2014, right? And I remember getting off and having a migraine. It was so rough. It was unbearable.
You know, it's pretty much like a clone of Racer and Racer 75, pretty much. That's their version because they all were run by Paramount. So you think they
Yeah.
could have RMC'd that?
Oh yeah. I mean,
That's a lot
it
of
would have been
coaster.
a weird
The
RMC.
two sides. Yeah, you think they could have probably did a Mobius loop like Twisted Colossus?
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
All right.
That
Moving
would have been
on.
fun.
Hey guys, what's your favorite ride at Dorney Park?
Talon.
That's easy.
Honestly, maybe Demon Drop.
Even
Drop's
Drop's a
great.
classic.
I love Talon though. I think it's so underrated.
You just hit. You just stole my coaster. Yeah, I concur.
It's between
And
Talon and
Talon.
Steel Force for me.
Talon.
Talon and Steel Force for others. I think it's Demon Drop and Thunder Canyon.
Thunder Canyon
I
is
was
so
gonna-
much
when I saw
fun.
this question pop up, I was like, I wonder if Colin's going to say the water ride because I know he loves that stupid thing.
Well, I do love it. It's so good.
Listen, Colin is right. I got on it with Colin and Phil a couple years ago in 2021. And let me tell you something. I was wet all day. That thing was, they wet you the best. It's the best rapids ride I've ever been on in my life. Donny
It's
Park
so
has the
fun.
best one. It is fun. Absolutely. But Talon is amazing. And what is that? Steel Force too bloopily. I'm not a big Morgan fan. It's too bloopily. And you know, and it's just and not enough airtime for me. So I'll stick with Talon. Talon is nuts.
Did you make a new?
Great.
Did you make a new word just now, Ace? Blooply.
Yeah, it's bloopy, like bloop, bloop, bloop. I call it bloop because we're so used to Intamin and B&Ms and RMCs, and Morgan and Arrow are like so outdated and antiquated. You know, soon those posters will be rendered obsolete. It's just, that's how I feel. We're too spoiled with the big toys of Intamin, B&M, and RMC. That's what happens to you when you think about it. Would you concur, Bob?
Yep.
What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I'd say so.
How about you, Jack?
Yeah.
You, Colin?
Sure.
I'm telling you.
Moving on. Oh, that's the wrong question. Has Great Adventure hired a park president yet? As far as I know,
God.
not yet. as far as I know.
Wow.
What's your most anticipated coaster of 2023?
For me,
Oh, that's easy.
Airy Force.
Harry
or-
Force won.
Airy Force is probably first, and then maybe Pipeline after that.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna go Airy Force and Wildcat.
I'm gonna go Airy Force, Wildcat, and Pipeline because I love
I'm
RMCs.
I'm excited to see how Pipeline is. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
very curious.
I don't
about
like.
it.
I mean, I don't like the old school stand-ups, but I mean, it looks kind of cool.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't they say that the part that's gonna take care of your crotch, support it, it's gonna be moving, it's gonna be flexible
Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to. So that's
yeah.
actually a good thing.
The
For the-
taint tickler is gonna like move up and down, like make.
Oh,
you,
that's
like, feel
good.
right on the wave.
Because this
Yeah.
way it'll take all the pressure off your midsection, which is great. That thing is uncomfortable. That damn. Even though I love the Georgia Scorcher and the Riddler's Revenge, they are uncomfortable. Let's see what happens. Looks like a lot of fun.
Would Six Flags Great Adventure ever add a new train to Batman the Ride? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, judging off what they're doing
Yeah.
with Nitro and what Fiesta Texas
Yeah.
is doing with Rattler and
Oh.
Boomerang.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a
I don't
very
think the
popular
need is
coaster.
very I don't think it's a
80
huge
years old.
need right now, but maybe in the future.
Yeah. It's 30 years old and still a classic.
Next up is Great Adventure opening year-round next year, starting January.
No. The winters are too
company's
brutal.
trying to move away from that.
No. The winters are too brutal. Look at this weekend. And the Christmas weekend.
We're lucky they're still gonna probably be open for Holiday in the Park. Next
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You were all saying like the winter's too brutal, but it's been in the 50s pretty recently.
No, Tom. This weekend, look how windy it is, and I'm sure it's colder down there. And look at the Christmas weekend we had when it went down to you guys 3 or 4 degrees, and in New York 5 degrees. That whole weekend was just iced. So you do have your corky weather. 50 one weekend and then teens the other weekend. It's brutal.
And it's not even the weather. Like Great Adventure would make no money if they were open in January or February, because even if they had some rides open, like I know, well, I'd love to go to the park in the middle of the winter, but are they going to have enough people in the park to like account to make paying employees worth it? Like there's not nearly enough. Also, operationally, they would have to close even more coasters than Holiday in the Park because they have to do the annual maintenance. Like they couldn't do it unless like Batman had another train, or that would be closed.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse. The curse is, our behinds have to stay home for 3 months. However, we do need rest after all these expensive road trips. But pretty much what did I say? I said that we have that would be the curse, and the gift is that we get our rest, and of course the curse is staying at home. So we get our rest. So we definitely need that. So it does help us, and if we would get our park back after the maintenance in April, so it makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can't go. And I meant to say that we would get burnt out. Colin has a great term. Well, we don't want to get Great Adventured out. That's what I was trying to allude to. We would get Great Adventured out going there 12 months in a whole year. That would be, we need to start off fresh in the new season.
We need the off season.
We do need the off season. I love this class. Does any one of y'all have coaster withdrawal? I don't have it. I'm happy. Who has coaster withdrawal?
I know you do, Ace.
No, I don't. I'm actually happy.
Every day talking about different parks and coasters.
That's fine. But I'm happy that I'm taking a break from it. I'm talking about the future. Yeah, I have to start planning for next season, but I'm happy. I need my 3 months. You have coaster withdrawal, Colin?
Nope.
What about you, Bob and Tom?
I'm good.
Yeah, not really for me either. I'm kind of like happy to take the break, honestly.
Thank you.
I rode Fury 2 weeks ago, so I'm good.
Cool. How many times you rode it?
It was on New Year's Eve. The park was pretty dead. I got on like 5 or 6 times.
Was it 70 degrees that day or cold?
It was like 60.
Oh, nice. That's my favorite coaster. How about you, Jack? Are you happy about the break, or you have a withdrawal right now?
Oh, I'm happy to not have to ride. Not that I don't want to ride coasters, but like, I mean, I'm totally fine having a couple months off because then it gets you excited for next season.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass having to drive 2 hours each way, and then it's just even a break on driving. I'm happy to get my break, like always.
I think that's where I feel a little better about taking the break too, because I moved a little further from Great Adventure.
Oh my God!
It's not 2 hours, but 45 minutes each way.
Still a
all
lot.
the time is not the best.
Yeah, and you're not even You're not even counting traffic, because I'm sure sometimes you could hit the traffic. It's another 15 minutes for you, of course.
Right.
Because I got to deal with extra traffic. It'll be 3 hours going over the bridge and stuff. The George Washington, unbelievable. So yes, I am happy. No coaster withdrawal. Tell your dad that too, Colin. I'm good. And right now, you can see I look better.
Right now, he's listening.
Hey, listen. You see how young I look? I'm not stressed. I look younger.
Right. All right. We got another thing from Jangles. Hopefully they'll add Six Flags TV back for the 50th anniversary to go with the new T-Rex.
That's
I don't know
ambitious.
about the new T-Rex, but I think Six Flags TV's return would be amazing.
Wow, I remember those days vividly. And he used to have the Looney Tunes on the Six Flags TVs at every single waiting area where you waited for the ride.
They didn't.
They still have it.
Yeah,
It's just
is
not the same.
It's just
and also
like
it's
generic.
very sporadically playing. Like half the time the audio's on and the screens are off, or maybe it's
That's
the other
why.
way around.
Okay, but they were fully functional in the 90s. I remember that.
With the old
And-
like boxy CRT TVs. It's
Yeah.
really funny. I found a picture on Great Adventure History.
Wow.
That showed that the Big Wheel line even had them at some points. That was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
And the log flume had them everything. The rapids, because every ride was like 2 or 3 hours long in the 90s when you went in the summertime, especially on a Saturday. They had to have those TVs. The free fall, they all had it pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I hope they add the safari in the park back. I disagree.
Yeah.
I like it better as the drive-through.
I also
Yeah.
like the drive-through, but with a new car, I don't know how soon I'll be going through it.
Oh
I
man.
would get really angry if, I don't know. I was about to say if a baboon climbed on my Bronco, but I realized they can't really climb on cars anymore.
Yeah.
Listen, what about your charger? Why don't you take your charger instead?
I don't have
your
a charger anymore.
Ah, damn.
I've
Yeah, I
taken
would
the
not want to
charger
do that.
through, but I am in no rush
No.
to take my new Bronco through
No.
the safari.
I don't blame you. That's not good.
I don't think Magic Mountain is an unsellable park for Six Flags. If the situation demanded it, it sits on extremely valuable land with new housing developments being built very close by.
Yeah.
Honestly, Magic Mountain, if it wasn't at the size it's at right now, I think it would be at massive risk for closing. The property it sits on is so valuable, more valuable than what CGA sits on.
Of
So,
course.
I mean, who knows what would happen?
Yeah.
I think we all
SeaWorld-
would hate to see that, no, regardless of where you
SeaWorld,
are.
excuse me,
Massive
SeaWorld originally had that, right? They opened it in '71. Am I correct? When you looked at the 2-hour special they had on Magic Mountain history, didn't SeaWorld own that park at once?
I don't think so.
I thought they
No.
were in. I thought they were in negotiations to be a part owner, and then they pulled out at the last minute.
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah, at least something. It came close.
Here, wait. I can show you. Where is it? Oh, never mind. It's not working. I was gonna show you a comparison between like 5 years ago, Magic Mountain, and now, where it's completely surrounded by housing developments.
Yeah, it's weird how quickly that
Yeah.
popped up.
Yeah, that's insane.
All right, next up. When was Six Flags Great Adventure get a Winger Giga Coaster? Giga 2024.
Giga.
More than
Get the wing after it, like a Wild Eagle. Yeah, Wild Eagle is great. Dollywood, one of my favorites of all
Golden Kingdom
time.
and Great Adventure. Do you think that they will ever bring back Ballin's Jungle Land because they have the
No.
land for it? But I think it'd be great to see them bring it back. But currently, I don't see that happening.
Mm-mm.
Me neither. I mean, there was a time where we had, was it 3 or 4 kiddie areas all at once? I think at the height, it might have been the 3. Technically it was 4, because like Wiggles World and Seaport, like
Yeah, they were separate.
They were separate, but they were technically
you have
all.
National
It
Park
all used to be
and Rollins.
SeaWorld. Or
Yeah.
did I say Sea? I meant Seaport. But
Yeah.
yeah. So you had those two, and then National Park and Ballin's Jungle Land at the same time for a couple years. It was. I don't think they have a need to bring back another kiddie area. But Phil
Yeah.
just said privately that it'd be a good area for one of those P-Sketty coasters. So then there's
I think
that.
it would, but at the same time,
Hey, John's
I
here.
think that the LED lights would kind of take you out of the theme. But we're gonna pause for a second. Thank you, John Joseph Gray IV, for the super chat. So, for those of you who don't know, John recently took a trip to Busch Gardens, Tampa, and he says Busch Gardens, Tampa is such a great park. Montu and Kumba are definitely better than Batman and Medusa. Iron Gwazi is my new number one. Very glad to hear that, John.
I'm glad you got there, John. You got on the greatest coaster in the world. I'm so happy.
One of my
You got
favorite
to enjoy
parts of that place.
Oh, absolutely, hands down, the best park in Florida. I'm not talking about theme wise. I'm talking about coaster and thrills. There's no other better park, not even Universal, because you got that great Iron Gwazi, and then what John just alluded to, the great Kumba and the great Montu, the greatest inverted custom B&M. I'm sure you would concur, guys. Montu is better than.
I don't like Kumba as much as a lot of people do, and I think
Montu. Montu. Forget about Kumba. Montu.
Montu's freaking awesome. It's my favorite.
Montu is the freaking better than
Montu's not
Banshee.
my favorite invert, but it's good.
What is your favorite invert? Banshee?
No.
I'm
Probably
messing with you.
Raptor
Banshee was
or
awful.
Alpengeist. I don't like Banshee.
Yeah, Banshee's
Oh,
gotten.
wow.
Banshee's
I'm
gotten super
surprised.
well.
Yeah, Alpengeist is great, but Montu is what takes the cake because you have that beautiful
Banshee's
roar.
honestly one of my least favorite inverts. I
love
like
Banshee. You think Banshee's rough, Bob?
It's over the last like 2 seasons. It's gotten beyond. I won't even ride it anymore. It gives me such a headache. It's so bumpy now.
That's crazy. It's not even 10 years old yet. It's only 9 years old.
I know.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah,
Practically
it's
new.
even like Talon is so smooth.
Smooth,
and-
yeah.
I don't know how it's so smooth while like Banshee is really rough. I think it's probably the train has something to do with it.
Yeah, I was
agree.
really, when we were there, I was really okay with riding Banshee only once and that being it.
Yeah.
I don't know
when we
what
rode
it
That
is.
one time it was enough.
I never have a problem with Banshee. I usually, like, the most I ride Banshee now, because I don't want to get too dizzy, it's probably like 4 or 5 times. I never have a problem. In the back, it gets a little rattly. I always do the front, that's why. So the front of everything, even the Rolling Thunder, when that was open, was the smoothest. So when you do the front of everything, it's going to be smooth. So that's my way out. I like the view.
I don't think I could ride it 4 or 5 times.
No.
What about the front? Could you do the
I don't
front of
know.
it?
I've never
The front
ridden
is
the front.
different. Oh, you crazy. You got to do the front. Oh, man. Did you
All
like
right,
the
Ace,
front of it,
moving
Colin?
on. We got to move on,
Oh.
Ace.
Go ahead, Colin.
If Toro keeps on having accidents, what do you think the
Ooh.
future of it is? I don't think the future's too bright for Toro if it keeps having accidents.
I don't
Right
think
on.
so.
Yeah, I think it's on 2 strikes right now. Honestly,
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they would get rid of it. I think they would make heavy altercations to it.
Make it like a metal Toro. It'll be metal. It'll be an iron Toro.
I don't know about that, but
They would have
sure.
to. They would retrack it. They would make it into a hybrid.
Any plans to go to Kings Dominion during these winter months? Rode
No.
Twisted Timber 3 times last week without getting off. It felt like nitro during Holiday in the Park, freezing but fun.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
going to say no this time around, but it's really cool if they're open year round like that. I
Yeah.
think that's
Oh,
Yeah,
they
it's
are
not
open
we
right
were
now?
just there
Time
recently.
to go. What was that?
I was the same. We
Oh,
were
I
there
just-
recently.
Yes.
I didn't know that
I'm
they
just
were
saying-
open year round.
What?
yeah, they announced the
I
same
did-
time Carol went to.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Jersey Devil is better than Wonder Woman Flight of Courage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Well, the
Wonder
thing,
Woman
where
does
the
run
area is
faster.
at. You know, where the area of Jersey Devil. You know, when you look at Wonder Woman, the Flight of Courage, that's the biggest reason why Jersey Devil is better, because there's not much. It's just an open pit as opposed to the Jersey Devil's area, the Pine Barrens. Totally different. That makes a
Right.
difference.
All right. So this is a question for everyone. What are your road trip playlists? Let's start with Bob.
I have like an old iPod from back in the day plugged in my car with all my music on it, and I just cycle through it over and over again. So it's whatever's on there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a big mix of everything. I love a lot of rock and classic rock and stuff.
Oh, go ahead.
Tom?
I will really listen to anything. Especially, I mean, I haven't taken my new car on a road trip, but it has CarPlay now, so I could definitely see me using that. I kind of just use Colin's playlist a lot too when I'm looking for classic rock, but really it'll be anything. I'm so bipolar when it comes to music, so I can go from like rock to country to jazz, like anything. Like just whatever I'm in the mood for.
Yeah, for me, it's pretty much just like classic rock, but I also listen to podcasts a lot, probably more than music.
I do too.
Ace.
Oh, simple. I have the YouTube playlist. And all the music, like from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, a little bit of new music, a lot of rap, a lot of R&B. Sometimes I may listen to some rock, you know. So those are my choices, pretty much, and some jazz.
So personally, as Tom mentioned earlier, I have a gigantic playlist.
Wow.
I think it's around like 600 songs. I don't even know what
Sure.
it's at.
I think it was 10 hours because I was listening to it the other day, and I'm like, I was worried. It's like, oh, well, I cycled through all these songs, and then I saw it was 10 hours. I'm like, no, I'm good.
It's 44 and a half hours.
44. Oh, geez, I was wrong. Wow.
Oh, wow.
It has, let's see, 616 songs.
Wow.
It's mostly classic rock. None of it's really that new. It's not pop either. It's kind of just a mix of a lot of different genres, subgenres of classic rock.
I remember it used to be called it used to throwback, or it was called Old School, but you had Paralyzer by Finger 11 in there, and that just made me feel really terrible.
That's my go-to song on Rip Ride Rocket.
Oh, nice.
It's a good one. Kickstart My Heart's good too.
Wow. You could
Now my
practically
playlist is simply called My Playlist.
Yeah, your playlist from New Jersey to California, if you ever took a crazy road trip, you could go to California in 50 hours with that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What one hell of a playlist. Wow, I don't even have a playlist like
You'd
that.
never finish the
Very
playlist.
cinematic.
No, he still wouldn't finish. You have to take a round trip to finish it.
Yeah.
From New Jersey to California and back.
All right, let's see. Scrolling past all this. This was when we were talking about most anticipated coaster.
Oh, yeah.
For most anticipated in 2023, Air Force US, Totatis International. Totatis looks amazing. And so does Gotham City Escape, but I think Totatis might have it beat there. They're both Infinite Blitz coasters, though.
Wow.
Whatever happened to the backwards Batman train?
Oh, man.
That's a good
That's a good question. Oof.
It kind of just stopped. Ace, you probably got to ride Batman backwards.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I did, but I did
also
not.
got to ride it, but I think we're the only ones.
A dizzying experience. Oh, my God. I got off that thing like literally shaking up. Oh, that thing made me so dizzy.
I really liked it. I actually kind of preferred it for a while to like regular old Batman, but my opinions on Batman have changed over the years to be a little better. But like backwards was really fun.
Interesting.
Now, I didn't ride it, but did they have two trains?
No, they just had one train.
No, they did have one train.
I'm pretty sure it was one train.
Wow.
Did they only run one train, or did they run one forwards, one backwards?
They ran one backwards train because I think they had to reverse the chain dogs or something like that, and so you couldn't run one of each way, like one facing forward, one facing backward. It had to be like all or nothing.
Yeah.
I think it was a specific train because they were doing this at a few Six Flags parks.
And they were just cycling around.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. There was only one specific train. I know the last park it was at was Laron.
Yeah, it was on Vampire.
Oh, wow, Vampire.
So, I don't know where it physically went from there. It's possible it's still sitting in some storage lot by Laron, but, you know.
Yeah.
To all things
I wouldn't
good
be mad to see them do that again.
Oh, I might send a couple friends a couple texts and bring that idea into question, because I would love to see that.
Yes, that would be a great idea.
Let's see. When do you think Dorney and or Knoebels will get a new coaster? Dorney 2024, Knoebels, I don't know. Dorney, I am very confident in saying 2024. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, let's hope that they get the...
And I can't really say what kind, but it's going to be great.
Yeah, let's hope they get the switchback that was anticipated back in 2021 before the pandemic hit. So let's hope. That'd be great.
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, they do still have Six Flags TV. It just never really works. Do you think Great Adventure will become a year-round park? Nope. We talked about that earlier. Hello, FYE Coasters. If I remember correctly, SeaWorld was the company that was interested in purchasing Magic Mountain. Magic Mountain opened on May 29, 1971 as a developer of the New Fall Land and Farming Company and SeaWorld Inc.
Ah, there we go.
Same year that Disney opened in '71.
I love roller coasters. So do all of us.
Yeah.
Pretty much our whole life.
Yep.
Let's see. Pansy was perfectly fine during my July visit. I don't know how. Julie,
That's
I
about
rode it.
when we were there in June.
Listen,
I go there 10 times a summer on road trips, and it was every time I only ride it one time just to say I rode it, and it's been awful.
It's brutal.
you know,
It's very weird though, because it's like two of the trains are really bad and one's just like passable. It doesn't make sense.
do
Yeah.
you wait, Bob? When you ride Banshee, do you ride the front most of the time?
I usually ride the back, but I'll ride
Oh,
the
that's
front.
why. I always
I
ride the
mean,
front.
even
Screw
a
that.
lot of time they assign, so like I'm near the front half the time anyways.
Yeah, I like the view, so I just ride the front. Sometimes I ride the back. I don't have no problems with it because I go to Kings Island and usually like when I go to Kings Island, it's usually 2 or 3 days in a shot. So just like when I go to Coastal Stock with you, it'll be for 2 or 3 days. So definitely one of my favorite parks.
Definitely.
It's a great
I don't
park.
like Banshee's vest restraints. Neither do I.
I like them.
Flight
Yeah,
of...
agreed.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did you just say you like vest restraints?
I love it because they're comfortable. Let me tell you why I love them.
What
I'm a
kind
big
of-
man. Listen. I'm a big
Where are
man.
you?
Huh?
What-
The Yukon Striker ones are great. All the other ones are
No, listen. I'm a big man. Those things, those old, let's say like the Batman restraints, they're so tiny and puny. If a guy my size, even Bob or Tom sits next to me, I'm gonna be like this. You would have to, you or your dad would have to sit next to me. Somebody that's skinny. It's one big, one skinny. I hate that. I have to like
The
literally
Banshees-
look at.
Banshees just crushes everything.
It don't crush me at all. There's a
Did you call me
secret.
fat?
No, I'm saying you have to be like real tiny. Like Phil and Colin are real tiny. They're skinny. We're not skinny. We're normal size. I know I'm heavier than all of y'all, but you're
Just
right in
call Colin and
between.
Phil anorexic?
No, yeah,
Wow.
they're so skinny. Oh my God, they could fit next to all of us with no problem without squeezing us. But yeah, it's just I love the vest restraints. You can remember there's like a foot wider those trains than the regular old trains. Think about it. There's a lot of space.
The old ones are very restrictive. Like I said, the new ones are not near as
Thank
bad.
you. I don't like that because they usually have to. They sit a fat person or somebody next to me. I can't move my arms. I love those vest restraints that Superman ushered in. You know, the B&M fly coasters
It
ushered
doesn't
in.
matter who the person is. On the old B&M over-the-shoulder restraints, there's
It does
no arm
matter,
movement. I agree.
Colin. If you're my size, you would see it does matter. Yes, it does matter because when somebody's basically not your size or your dad's size, I'm gonna be crushed. I'm gonna feel like a prisoner.
Please.
I'm gonna be all
I have-
squeezed.
I have the same problem regardless of the size of the person next to me. I never have arm room on the side.
With inverts, especially, like I can't even do anything with my arms, no matter who's
Thank
next
you.
to me.
That's what I'm alluding to. I hate those old things. I would say with vest restraint and everything. I'm tired of those the hard plastic B&M restraints.
It's always the worst for me on Batman at Great Adventure. Like that's the one where I noticed the
Thank
armor
you.
problem the most.
Yeah.
You saw for yourself when we sat next to each other. We couldn't even move. There's no room there. Your poor arms are like this. Literally like you can't move at all. You know?
Yeah.
But I love the vest restraints, especially on Yukon Striker and Val Raven. They're excellent. I love them. That's what we have for most of the B&Ms anyway. The new ones, they're going to be with vest restraints, much to Colin's chagrin.
Yeah. Flight of Fear at Kings Island is a rattle trap. You
Yep.
got that right.
Yeah.
Flight of Fear is a brutal at Kings Island.
The King's Dominion version. If you could combine the King's Dominion ride with the theming at Kings Island, you would have a perfectly serviceable ride. But the
theming
yeah,
on
I
it is
agree.
great, but the ride itself, holy crap.
No, yeah,
You
the
know-
theming at the Kings Island one was better. Like the queue was a little different. They had like the pre-show and all that throughout the queue. Like that was cool.
I thought that King's Dominion's ride experience is not amazing, personally. I rode it a couple times, and it just was kind of rough.
Oh no, Joker! I'll take Joker's Jinx over both of the Flight of
Yeah.
Fears.
Oh, I love Joker's Jinx. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is. You know what? The Joker's Jinx, and of course the one that they have at Fiesta Texas is good.
They're both really
Poltergeist.
good.
Joker's Jinx are great.
Poltergeist and Joker's Jinx are better. Now, whatever this person said, they're absolutely right about the flight of fear in both of the Kings Parks. Though that is rattly. That thing is something else. It does rattle you, especially at Kings Island. It's a nice ride, but it rattles you, especially in the second half.
Yeah. Next up, tour will close or go full steel if there's another accident.
Yeah, go full steel. Go steel. At least keep it. You're probably like lightning rod. It'd be like a hybrid. So be it. Hey, to keep it alive. We all love Toro. One of the greatest coasters in the world.
All right, next up. I've not ridden Tatsu, so I can't compare Tatsu's a B&M Flyer versus Alpengeist being a first-generation invert, two totally different coasters. I don't know where that's coming from.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Mark.
I assume Tatsu is probably much better.
Tatsu is much better.
It's
Tatsu,
so
man, listen. When I first saw Tatsu in 2006, I couldn't ride it because they had just started doing test rides in April of 2006. Man, I couldn't wait to get on it. I finally got on it in 2009. That's my favorite flying coaster.
Did you get it right after dark kind of days? Because my first ride was after dark.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Colin, when you eventually got there, in a few years probably. It's amazing part is climbing up the lift hill, and then all of a sudden the mountain just ends, and all the way up the lift hill, you're looking. There's like ground like 6 feet beneath you, and then all of a sudden the mountain just ends, and you're like,
it's crazy.
Stories off the ground. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God! Like you going up that mountain, and it's 170 feet, yes, but you don't see nothing beneath once you get past that mountain. It's scary. Oh, it's incredible. Then you go fly off the mountain, like you're gonna fly right out the train. Yeah, it's just incredible. Oh my God! Yeah, I like it better than Alpengeist. Absolutely, that Tatsu is sick. Alpengeist is great.
Yeah, I think Tatsu. I mean, I haven't ridden Alpengeist, but Tatsu is amazing.
It is.
I also rode Manta just like a few months after I first rode Tatsu. Yeah, I think Tatsu's a lot better. The best.
It's like side by side. Maybe Dinosaur has a little bit better. It's a little bit better than Tatsu, but Tatsu's up there, one of the greatest flying coasters in the world, up there with Dinosaur. Even though we never got to ride it, but it's up there. Tatsu is nice.
Flying Dinosaur looks really cool. I hope I get to ride that.
And I saw the POV to that. That's sick. The way they put that in that small Universal Studios Japan, that small area. Wow, it's amazing how they did that. Wow.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So my family and I are planning a trip to Ohio this summer. Besides Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the NFL AOF, Cedar Point is also in the plans. Can't wait for Steel Vengeance and the others. That's awesome, John.
Yeah. Sounds really nice, Wow. Steel Vengeance, no matter what, is amazing. Sometimes I second guess it that Iron Gwazi is tied with it, but then I always come back to reality and say, Iron Gwazi just a little bit. Steel Vengeance, we love the hell out of it, especially you, Bob. Steel Vengeance is just incredible. The last time I did my bonus trip, I told you about that to get more coaster credits. Steel Vengeance is sick. Can't get enough of it.
Right. All right, next. Here we go. What was your favorite new credit of 2022? Gwazi.
Oh, where did I go?
I guess mine has to be Steel Vengeance. I mean, it's my number one right now, and I wrote it for the first time last year. But Fury was great. I really enjoyed Goliath and Over Georgia too. That whole trip was great.
I at first I was gonna have a tough time until Colin bailed me out because I've done over 100 credits in 22, and let me tell you something. That's just slam dunked. Iron Gwazi. I probably rode Iron Gwazi this year. I know y'all got the record within a 12-hour period. I probably have like about, 39 plus 22. So that's 59. That's 61 rides this year in 22. That's how much I love Iron Gwazi.
I was racking my brain about what new coasters I rode this year. But yeah, obviously Iron Gwazi's at the top. I liked Icebreaker. I thought it was going to be underwhelmed, but I liked it.
Icebreaker was really good.
It was really fun. It surprised me. And then I really, really liked Renegade too. That was a really good ride.
Yeah, you talking about Renegade at Valley Fair? Oh yeah. It's smooth this year. It was smooth this year when I went out there and did my triple trip I told you about. And when I went to Denver, the LA area, and all of California, and the
I really dug that weird drop because our GCI always does those either twisting drops besides Stingray, but that one's like a double down, like twist,
Wow.
twist one way and twist back the other way, which is really cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I take back what I said about Icebreaker in the previous videos, Colin. That Icebreaker was underwhelming. It was my first time. It probably wasn't warmed up yet. But you know what? When I did get back out to Florida, when I got my 39 rides on Iron Gwazi in 2 days, I personally do like Icebreaker. It ran smoothly, and by the time I got to SeaWorld, it was warmed up. Even though it was cold outside, it had warmed up. So it rode much better back in October when I went. So I do like Icebreaker.
I think my favorite was probably Iron Gwazi or Velocicoaster, because I rode Velocicoaster only for the first time at the very beginning of this year, or not this year, last year. But I think probably like runner-up, just for like one of my favorites, was probably Mystic Timbers, because I hadn't ridden that until this year,
My favorite
and it was
it's so good.
it was a lot better than I was expecting. Having only ridden like a couple mediocre of GCI's rides, then riding Mystic Timbers, it was really great.
That was awesome.
That's the best GCI. Absolutely, hands down over the Ghost Rider and the Texas Stingray at.
I love Thunderhead now that they retracted it.
Which one?
Thunderhead, since they retract.
Thunderhead is great.
Yeah.
My God! When I went in 21,
it used to be unrideable. It was so rough.
You're right. It was rough when I first went in 16. Oh, it's great. Colin got to enjoy it last month, right, Colin?
Oh, it was
excellent. Thunderhead. Ooh,
Excellent.
Love Thunderhead. One of my favorite GCIs.
I do want to apologize for some of the background noise. The dogs are
okay.
happy.
We don't
care that Riley's whining in the background. It's fine.
Oh my God, that's Munchie. See, I got used to your dog's name, Colin. Munchie.
Yeah, Munchie.
What a nice name.
Munchie
could eat. So. Munchie could eat. That's a nice name for the dog. She could eat.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear.
Yeah, she's loud.
That's good. Is she happy?
Well, we're trying to make her go to sleep right now. So.
Oh my God.
She's not very happy now. All right, moving on. Is Great Adventure getting a Skyline dueling coaster too this year? I don't think they are. Although we don't know. It could happen. I'm leaning towards no for now. Moving on. Agreed, Batman harnesses suck. Yeah, they're not the greatest.
Yeah, it's a 0 out of 10. Right. Tom, you and I can attest to that when we rode the Batman when we hung out that day. Yep. Jesus Christ, that Batman. Oof. Love the ride, but especially those restraints can go.
Next, I'm very happy that Knoebel sticks to just lap bars without the seatbelts. I hope that never changes. I agree.
Wow. It's true.
Yeah, oh man, Phoenix was like another underrated.
You don't have anything holding you in place.
I forgot about Phoenix. I don't know how I did, because that was insane.
Oh my God. Did you hurt your knees, Tom? When you was in the back, so you was in the back of Phoenix, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got on the back of Phoenix?
I think so. Is that where we rode, Colin?
Woo! Oh my God.
Yeah, that was crazy.
In 2021, listen, when I got on Phoenix in the back, I said, damn, listen, it was literally, I made a slogan. It was ass out your seat, literally. My knees hit the front, and I was literally out the seat. That's how much airtime I had in the back. Isn't it insane, Colin, all the airtime you get when you're in the back of Phoenix?
Yeah, back or front.
Fly out the seat.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Whew.
It almost doesn't matter where you sit on that thing.
But that back, you get all of it. You fly out the seat.
All right, next. When does Great Adventure open for the 2023? They
April
open
1st.
on April 1st.
I knew that.
I hope so. Let's see. I usually love indoor coasters, but not Flight of Fear. Yeah, Flight of Fear at Kings Island, just brutal.
That is true. That rattle just beats the hell out of you. That's a given. I love the Joker's Jinx. That's the best one out of the 4.
Tatsu's fantastic. My favorite B&M coaster, not named Orion.
That's a good one.
Great.
Yeah, it is great.
I have a non-enthusiast friend who just rode Flying Dinosaur.
Wow. Oh, should be jealous. Jesus Christ. Hands down one of the best fly coasters being them flyers in the world.
How do you know?
Darius told us. Darius did ride it. He could attest. He attested to it.
Colin, most anticipated coaster for when you eventually get to California.
Whoa!
I think Twisted Colossus, but I've already ridden so many rides like Twisted Colossus,
So good.
so I gotta go
Bob.
with X2. I mean,
Bob.
X2 looks insane.
Right, yeah.
Bob,
What?
would you concur that Twisted Colossus is a superstar coaster of Magic Mountain? That's my number one.
Yeah.
Would
absolutely.
you say?
Yeah.
That and Tatsu. I mean, that and not Tatsu. X2. That Twisted Colossus, you just go. You're gonna get on Twisted Colossus like 10 times.
Their Batman clone's my favorite too. It's so
Batman
really-
is nice.
Hmm.
They take care of it. Yeah, they take great care of that Batman. The blue Batman out there is nice.
I think their Batman is really good.
Yeah, it is.
X2 is great, but I do think the Twisted Colossus is better than
especially if you
X2.
get a duel, like the dueling
Number
aspect
one.
is so crazy good.
Yeah.
Oh
back
man.
Back in April, they were like almost guaranteeing every ride was a duel because there was barely anyone in the station, and they were just pumping
that's
friends
right.
out.
When we had the nighttime ERT on it, they were basically like screaming at all the old like ace people to hurry the hell up so we could do it. Like they were like literally yelling at them saying, "You're old, move your ass." Like it was.
Oh
Funny.
my god.
Yeah, they were being like vicious.
Hey,
I
Bob.
do think.
Go ahead, Jack.
Oh,
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Colin, don't forget about Ghost Rider in California. It's really good at night.
Rider was
Amazing.
Right, yeah.
Guys, would you agree real quick is that the Ghost Rider would count as a GCI? I do in my book. Would y'all count that as a GCI as one of your favorites? Would you say that?
I
Does it
think
be
so.
track? Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's GCI trains, GCI retrack,
Yeah,
but it's
one of my favorite
GCI
GCIs.
layout.
yeah. So Bob, did you get any high fives during that ERT? A lot of high fives elements on the Twisted Colossus.
Oh yeah, it was doing the whole time. Like every time they got. Yeah.
That is sick. It's a great element in the ride.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Moving on. What park plans do you have for the 2023 season? Nothing concrete yet. I mean, there's a lot of places I'd like to get to. I'd say definitely expect some content from all the parks around here. Hershey, Dorney, Great Adventure, maybe America, New England, all the shore parks. Definitely expect that. As for other stuff, not too sure yet.
I'm pretty sure
It's
I'm
gonna
going
be good.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to Coaster Con, so that'll be cool. Obviously, like Kings Island and Cedar Point, Kentucky Kingdom. We're probably for our Coaster Club running events. I think potentially at Kennywood and Seabreeze, and
cool.
Well, maybe Indiana Beach again. Although we've heard through the grapevine that their new coaster still isn't going to be open this year because they're having all kinds of problems with it.
Oh man, Jesus Christ! Are you serious, man?
A couple of inside people told us they don't think it's
Well, so just wait till 2024 then to go. I probably won't even go to Indiana Beach now. I need my credit, so I'll just wait because I think I missed out on one of the wooden coasters, the big one. What's the big one called? I missed it. That goes over the water.
Lucan, I see your comment in the chat, and yes, one of my first events with the Coaster Club when I first joined in 2017 was at Seabreeze, and I really enjoyed it. Even though it's a tiny park and the rides are only okay, it's just a really cool experience being right on the lake like that. And we figured if we did it, we could tie it in with like a optional day at like Darien Lake or Niagara or something like that.
Yeah, that's enough. I went to Seabreeze in 21. That was really nice.
Pretty. It's such a pretty park.
It is, but the only thing is they don't let you ride the kiddie. You can't get the kiddie credit. But it's a great park.
I got the kiddie.
And if you have an ADA pass,
Bob has something on you.
I have the kiddie credit there.
Oh, that's great. I'm happy you do. That's fine. But listen, I got something over all you guys. With my ADA pass, I was able to get Brandon in for free.
Really?
Yeah. When you have an ADA pass, the second person get in for free. That's the beautiful thing about that park. Yeah, seriously.
They treated us so well.
They are nice there. They are nice. They really are.
Are they also building a shuttle loop?
I have no idea. Lucan, you can answer that.
Lucan would know.
Yeah, Lucan, are they building a shuttle loop, or do they? I know they had like parts for it shipped there, but
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
Tom,
they're just going to use those parts on the
and yes,
other
American
short
Dream is in the pipelines this year.
Tom, your plans for next year? Before I finish off?
I definitely want to bang out a couple of like the parks in New Jersey that I feel I definitely should have gone to by this point. So that includes the boardwalk parks. American Dream is definitely somewhere I should go. I think it's finally getting to a point there where like it won't cost an arm and a leg to go, and like you know.
Yeah, you got to get there before it closes down for bankruptcy.
What's the other? Right. No, yeah, we're that was probably the next point I was going to make, in that it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to go. For the most part, things are all open at the same time. It also gives me a chance to gawk at the Izod Center because I miss it a whole lot, but that's just a plus. I know Sandy's is going to be down for a little bit as well, so that'll be upsetting, but I'll probably wind up going in the spring, summer. Like, hopefully that'll give Sandy a chance to be done with all the maintenance.
Well,
But,
definitely,
yeah.
Bob.
Oh, no,
But
that's pretty
definitely-
much done. The New Jersey parks are the only things I'm definitely
Yeah,
going to try to target.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have so much fun with that. Eat your heart out. That's exactly what I did the last 2 years to get all my credit. Bob, I'm gonna join you at Coaster Stock, right? Second to last week of May. My Coaster Stock trip, because I'm not doing Coaster Mania this year. Coaster Stock all the way.
It's usually the weekend before Memorial Day.
So I'll be there with you. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna have Cedar Point in it, and you said Indiana Beach's new Schwarzkopf is not gonna be open, right?
I mean, that's what we've heard through the grapevine.
So yeah, I'll probably just skip it. I'll probably go to Holiday World instead then, because I don't got the kiddie credit. But I want to do the Voyage, the new retracted Voyage, because I haven't been there since 18. And then that's concrete. But the other trips are kind of like wishy-washy because the prices are just too exorbitant. But I'm definitely going to get down to the Southeast trip over Georgia, Dollywood, Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, the new Air Force One's Park, that's Fun Spot Atlanta. Then I'm going to do a separate trip, fly down to Florida to do the pipeline coaster at the SeaWorld, of course, Iron Gwazi, and get to a Fun Spot and get that kiddie credit. And I have one more, and the big one is Texas. Like I alluded to earlier, I'm definitely going to do Texas because I got some flights, some points, some miles to use out there. So that's basically my lineup. And of course, the basic Great Adventure, New England, out of Hershey Park. Those are the basics because those are home parks to all of us in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So everybody got to get to Hershey Park this year for the new Wildcat Revenge, and Dorney Park, of course, too.
Lucan did just put in the chat that the triple loop is apparently the coaster that's giving them problems, but the shuttle loop track and parts are on site. So, I mean, I have no idea anything about that park really, but I honestly don't see any of them either of them opening this year.
The triple loop, you're talking about the Indiana Beach, right?
Yeah, the Chimera relocation.
So I'm just gonna basically I'm gonna probably, which is a good idea, to skip Indiana Beach, one or the other, because I want to get a third day in after Coastal Stock at Kings Island before I go home on that trip. I definitely got to get on Kings Island alongside Magic Mountain, all my favorite parks. And I know y'all all concur with this. Kings Island is a better overall park than Cedar Point, even though not better coaster park, but a better overall park the way it's ran. I'm sure you, Mr. Ohio, you know about Kings Island being better than Cedar Point.
I mean, it always has been until this past year. It was a disaster. They're having all kinds of internal turmoil, at the top with management and stuff.
Shoot. I didn't know that.
You're going through lots of people, and cycling people in and out like crazy. So I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, typically it's a better park.
It is, and happier people too, because Cedar Point is just bonkers. It's crazy. Even the fight, even somebody at Still Vengeance got punched out. It's terrible. Everybody has their tempers and all that at Cedar Point. There's a lot of problems at Cedar Point. Great park.
What amusement park do you recommend to go to this summer? I've been to Great Adventure, Magic Mountain, America, Universal, Disney, Busch Gardens, VA, Hershey, and Dutch Wonderland.
Cedar Point.
Go to the Ohio parks. Do Cedar Point and Kings Island.
Cedar Point, Kings Island.
Ohio or Texas definitely would probably be the best bet.
Texas is a little
if you're
far. You have to fly there.
I mean, if you're looking for volume of things to do, well then Ohio. That's why I say Texas too. But
Kings Dominion's great too. Six Flags New England's great. Lake Compounds, Quasi. A lot of small parks too.
All the Dutch Wonderland. That's a nice, cute park for the kids. We've all been out there. You've been to Dutch Wonderland, Tom and Bob?
I went with
Colin.
We almost got screwed over there. So
what? Y'all didn't get the credit?
No, we did, but it was down to the last second, and the Kingdom Coaster was broke all day, and then we were waiting in line. We were about to get on. We were next in line, and it broke down again. And they
my god,
close it, and then they decided to try to fix it one more time, and they got it open for a couple cycles for us and after us, and the park closed 10 minutes later.
Wow! Thank God you got your credit.
Yeah. All right. Next, Bob. What do you think about the future of the Browns?
Oh wow.
Yeah. whatever. We're gonna get there eventually. Before I die.
Hey, Tom, I'm so happy you're in a good mood. You're not going to kill us. Thank heavens. I was 4-1 Colin. I watched the game. I know. I feel your pain.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
I
I'll get
listen.
over it.
Listen, the Giants.
Right,
they shocked the. I'm sorry.
Enough sports. Let's move on.
Yeah. Wow.
We got our sports fill for this stream. 1 minute's enough. What's your least favorite roller coaster at Knoebels, Dorney, and Hershey? Knoebels. I don't really dislike anything there. I guess Black Diamond.
I mean,
talking about
Black Diamond's
the
stupid.
three
and shouldn't be a
combined.
What's your
coaster,
least
but-
favorite at Knoebels, Dorney, and Hershey?
My least favorite thrill coaster is probably Hydra. Or
No, the
Thunderwall.
Wildcat there sucks.
Oh yeah, the
I thought
Wildcat.
Wild
because they
Mouse,
have
the Wild Mouse, rather.
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
wild.
the Wild Mouse is awful.
What, the Dorney Park Wild Mouse? Which one? The
Dorney
Dorney
and
Park.
Hershey. Well, Hershey's was okay.
Hershey's wild.
No,
Mouse.
no, Hershey's is fine. Dorney beats the hell out of you.
They
It's
both beat the
janky.
hell out of you.
Hershey.
Yeah,
I was
There's
thank
a
at the
very
Wildcat
funny
before this.
picture somewhere of my family on the Wild Mouse at Hershey, and I need to see if I can find it because you can just tell how uncomfortable all of us look in there.
Wow, Jesus.
At
Wow.
Hershey, I don't know what my least favorite is. I mean, my least favorite's gone now.
It was Wildcat beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I have never liked Lightning Racer. At least I haven't liked it since 2020. It's very boring. Doesn't do
Oh.
much. I'm
Y'all
a
like
fan.
y'all like it, guys?
I think it's fine.
I love
I
Lightning
think it's-
Racer.
I think it's okay. It's a fun ride. Probably
It's
the
fun.
least
It's
favorite
just doesn't do
there.
much.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
what about
like.
you?
Oh,
No, I'm
I
sorry,
was
go
just gonna say I like the theme and all of Jolly Rancher Remix. But it's still not that great of a ride. Like
Yeah.
even with the new trains that they got a few years ago, it's
Yeah,
still pretty rough.
yeah.
I have not
But-
yet been on Jolly Rancher Remix as Jolly Rancher Remix. I last wrote it as Sidewinder.
Yeah.
It feels exactly the same as when it was Sidewinder, but the station's really cool. And like,
Yeah,
the
that's
tunnel
that's
and
what I'm
stuff.
most looking forward to.
It's my least favorite. Whether Sidewinder, I've got on Jolly Rancher Express, whatever they call it. But it's just you smell that nasty burnt candy smell when you go through the fog. But it's just it's my least favorite of the three parks. Absolutely, hands down. I don't even like Wildcat. I like Wildcat way more than that thing. I'm not going back on that thing. I'm not a
All right,
big.
What was your first coaster with an inversion? I believe mine was Super Duper Looper at Hershey.
Double
Mine.
Lake.
Mine was actually something that you won't be able to see probably in RCDB,
What?
but I was at a fair, the Westchester
Jesus
County
Christ.
Fair.
You're lucky to be alive.
I know I'm old. At the Westchester County Fair in 1991, my mother, I think she took me, and it was a couple of big loops, similar to the one at the Meadowlands Fair, but they had that, and that was my first looping coaster. Because I went on the looping coaster at Vibe Playland they used to have. It was an old, what do you call that company? That similar to a Vekoma. It was a Vekoma loop also at Vibe Playland. But yes, the one at the Yonkers Raceway. That was my first one.
I think if we want to count Superman, it was Superman for me. But if we're not going to count that one, then it'd be Medusa.
I think my first coaster with an inversion was Super Duper Looper.
Yep, me too. Next up, oh boy. I think Jersey Devil is better than El Toro. Jersey Devil offers the same kind of airtime, more variety of elements, and is more comfortable for bigger, oversized people. That's definitely perspective. However, El Toro's airtime is it's a league ahead of every coaster I've been on.
It's very
There's
different
no
from Jersey
airtime
Devil.
like El Toro's airtime. Jersey Devil has good airtime, and it's got a phenomenal drop. But Toro's just better.
Listen, when it comes to El Toro, nothing compares to that airtime. From day one in 2006 to when it broke down that fateful day in August, that airtime is sick. That is literally, when I say ass out your seat, that's where ass out your seat is in El Toro. You're out the seat, no matter where you are on the train. Incredible. I don't know. I do not agree with that, but yeah, El Toro, hands down.
I mean, it's been just so strong. The air time is so strong that it literally has ripped up the tracks.
Yeah.
Bob, what do you think?
Whoever said it, I think Jack said it, is like it's really hard to compare the two, being such different. There's different varieties too, because like remember we had a conversation after Jersey Devil opened about how different it was from the other Raptors because it's more graceful, even though it has like forces and things. It's way more graceful and drawn out versus the Trailblazer and Wonder Woman try to like just twist and turn you to death and super intensity and stuff. I don't think it's the same kind of airtime at all. I think I feel like Jersey Devil's much more like floater with a little pop of ejector versus El Toro, which launches you out of your seat constantly.
Right. I mean, I think Jersey Devil, once you get on it when it's like running full potential, which I've gotten plenty of those this year, it has some ridiculously strong airtime. But that also could be coming from the fact that I was at a little bit of a Toro deficit when I got those rides. But Devil has really good airtime. And that drop in the back row, like I said, it's up there as one of the best drops. Moving on. Why does Colin look like Mini Bob? Thanks, Sammy.
Did you put glasses
Wow.
on? That's when we wore glasses.
Wow,
And I guess the
Colin.
glasses are what did it.
Colin, are you gonna wear the glasses to the park? I finally
No,
can
those
count
are
on
blue
the
light
glasses.
glasses.
They're what glasses?
The blue light glasses for the screens and everything.
Oh, you look cool with them. Yeah.
Thanks, I guess.
Yep. Your glasses
Yeah.
look like mine. I got the blue ones on today. That's amazing. My glasses are blue
You're
too.
wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, but they're blue. We're like twins right now.
Nah, we're not like
No.
twins.
Collins aren't
Little
Collins.
Colin.
My glasses are not blue.
What
have a
color are
yellow
they?
hue.
Oh, okay.
They just
They-
filter
they
out.
give off like
Like warmer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But you have glasses on, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, what Bob said. Anyways, has anyone ridden New Texas Giant? That was my first RMC. I've ridden it.
Yes.
It was also my first RMC.
It was also my first RMC, and I actually was so fortunate to get to ride it, not in 11, but I did get to ride it in 12, and I just missed Mr. Freeze, the original, and got the Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast too, which was incredibly better than, much better than Chiller. We all love Mr. Freeze. I'm sure we all concur with that.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever get on Mr. Freeze that time?
No, I haven't been out there yet.
Oh, and you too, Jack. You haven't got on it, right?
I haven't.
Mr. Freeze?
I'd be excited to ride the new Mr. Freeze now that it's back to forwards.
Oh, cool. I never got to ride it like that. I'll get to ride
Did
it.
they-
Wow,
Did they do that
next
at
year.
both parks, or is it just over Texas?
Just
that did it?
over Texas, I believe. It's
Okay,
just
so
over
you can-
Texas.
Good.
You can still do both if you wanted.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing just like they did with Superman. Superman Escape from Krypton. They actually have one backwards, the original way and the new way from 11 on. So
Yeah.
they have both of them. So, which is great.
I wish Texas Giant was my first RMC because it
Wow.
would have set like a lower standard so that all the other ones
Right.
would be good. Because Texas Giant was obviously very disappointing coming from.
Well,
one
I
of
was
the RMCs.
yeah. After I've ridden it again, I'm like, okay, this is like super lame.
You
now.
know,
All I do is look at Texas Giant now and think what RMC could do to it now with their current
Right.
design language.
you know
It would be
what?
phenomenal.
I concur with you a whole lot. And the new Texas Giant could have had some inversions, and unfortunately didn't put it because it was his first one ever. It was a prototype, but damn, if you would have added inversions to it, do y'all think that the new Texas Giant would have been better with at least 2 inversions in it? What you think?
Something.
I think it would be better with better friggin' airtime
Oh, better airtime?
and not those stupid overbanks everywhere.
Yeah, it's stupid. I'm like, when you sitting on it, it's like, what the hell are you riding? It's like underwhelming because you got right down the street, 4.5 hours away, the Great Iron Rattler. There's nothing touches that. I'm talking about
Right.
back then when they were first new. Wow. Jesus.
Anyways, moving on to the next question. Would you recommend a GoPro 11 or a GoPro 10? So I do have
11, of
both.
course.
See if I can reach them.
I'd say 11. 11 works
Yeah.
better.
So, you can't even
11.
tell which is which.
Oh.
There's no way to tell. You can only
Well,
tell.
which one is?
I have it right. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
It's the only way you can tell. I prefer the 11 personally I know there's not really a big difference as they're literally like the same. I think the 11 has better color definition. I think it just overall looks better. And when I go back and look at my footage, I can tell which was taken on the 11 versus which was taken on the 10. It's very clear to me. So I know the 11 is a little bit more just because it's new, but I would just go for the 11 since, I mean, you're getting a slightly better 10 for like $50 more, $100 more, whatever it is. In my opinion, it's worth it, but that's just my opinion.
The GoPro. I've just looked on the website, and the Hero 11 Mini, which has the same exact processor and lens as the GoPro Hero 11 regular, just doesn't have the big screen on the front, is currently like $150 off, so now's probably a good time to buy it.
Although I'm not a huge fan of the Mini because I like having the screen and the preview of everything personally. That's just me.
Yeah.
What's your
The
favorite
regular
type of
Hero 11 is also discounted.
Yeah, I think it's like, what, $349 now?
Yeah.
Favorite type of coaster? Probably. Now, I've ridden more RMCs. However, I think the new age Intamin Blitz model has so much potential, and I'm probably going to say that will be my favorite, but for now, it's the RMC Hybrid. Bob?
Same. I love GCI though too.
GCIs are great. Tom?
I prefer hypers and gigas, that kind of thing. I think I'm finding I like more the airtime centered coasters, so I'll probably say those.
Jack?
I'm muted. I'd say probably I'd rather ride like an RMC or something like that, or Intamin Blitz if I had to pick a favorite type.
Ace?
If I had to pick a favorite type, it would be between Fury and Iron Gwazi. So I'm trying to say. I know. Basically what I'm alluding to is either RMC or B&M. It would have to be RMC because it's just special elements on that damn thing. So yeah, of course RMC because that is my favorite coaster.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough because I love Intamin's Blitz and I love the B&M Gigas. Those are my favorite three classes. It's pretty tough.
All right, moving on. Six Flags Great Adventure ever get rid of Green Lantern and put a new ride in that spot?
Eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it's going to happen in the near future.
Yeah, we just got it in 11, so what is that, 12 years ago? So
Yeah, it'll be 12 this year. Yeah, it's too new to be replaced, and there's nothing there's nothing about it that makes it need to be replaced. Like, it's pretty mechanically reliable.
If you could ever make it like a pipe scream or whatever, I know it'd be a lot of work. It would be an exorbitant amount of work to have to change that. If they could ever, man, that would be so cool. If you made like a launch or something. It's the only thing I can think of, because you got to keep it.
I mean, the only thing I could think of would be to just replace the trains with the pipeline trains.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Keep. Okay. But I don't think Great Adventure is gonna really do that. Just because like the coaster gets a line, it runs fine. I think it's an okay. Like it's not a bad ride necessarily.
Yeah. You just have to know how to ride it so you don't get smacked around with the hard restraints and the uncomfortable, thing that's under your legs.
Right. All right. This, I don't know what this is asking you. Any of you know what this is asking? Thoughts on
that Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift at Universal Hollywood. It's that.
Oh wow!
They're gonna be doing that drift coaster thing.
Are you serious?
Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna. It's supposed to be like the cars are gonna like drift around corners and stuff on the coaster somehow.
Did they announce that?
I don't know if they've announced it, but it's been like highly. I don't know what you want to say, leaked, but
I see.
Oh wow, that is cool. That's different. That's
it's
different.
Like if anyone played Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, there was a ride type in it that was just a drift coaster where the back of the car would slide over a little bit.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That is
Except
cool.
this looks like it's. Do you know what manufacturer it is?
No idea.
I don't know. I thought they were going to do Intamin, but they love it.
I I mean,
How
it
many-
looks kind of like
It
the
looks like
Guardians
an
of the
Intamin.
Galaxy ride
wow.
system. How the whole cars can spin at like controlled rates
It's
by the
Intamin.
computer.
It's Intamin.
Intamin? Okay. Interesting.
Hey, Bob,
Same
how many
ride system as
coasters?
Gringotts.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say Green Gods. Yeah, remind me of Green Gods. Hey, Bob, how many coasters do Hollywood have?
Too.
I think
It's very,
yeah.
very. Huh?
I think it's just Mummy and Hippogriff.
Wow, they're so bereft of coasters.
Oh, that
I
park
swear.
was terrible.
Oh, it was terrible, and they're bereft of.
I mean, their Harry Potter ride's great because I like Harry Potter, and plus it's like a scene longer than the one in Florida. And that Waterworld show is incredible. It's so good.
Oh, that's cool.
But
That's
the
cool.
rest of the park was like garbage.
Yeah, I can't. The reason why I won't go, that's like the only park in the country and north of pretty much Canada, United States that I haven't really been to because they are bereft of coasters. I'm not going to a park that doesn't have anything paying $200. No, you got to be
Yeah,
replete.
it cost us $100 for the ticket in 2019, and like we could not find anything cheaper than $100 a ticket.
That's insane. Now, Universal Florida is one other thing because they are replete of coasters. So that's a different story. So, wow. I hope they get something. I hope it's big. I know they're not going to get a Velocicoaster, unfortunately, but they're going to get something finally in Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's see. Do you think the rumors about Dark Knight at Great Adventure getting removed are true?
I've never
not
heard those
any
rumors.
of that happening.
Mm-mm.
I'd love to know where you heard it from.
Yeah, I can't. It's kind of like Green Lantern, where, I mean, obviously it wasn't put in as recently, but it's never really had any major mechanical issues. Like, I can't see them getting rid of it. There's plenty of other things I would get rid of before Dark Knight. That and it's a capacity. It's like really good for capacity and throughput. It was all like when I worked there, we had a whiteboard with all like the ride throughput numbers, and Dark Knight was pretty consistently like close to the top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe that. That's false.
Do you think that Hershey Park would ever RMC Lightning Racer into an RMC dueling coaster? So,
Not now.
No.
before Wildcat got RMC'd, I thought that was the path they should have taken. They
I
should
did
have
too.
Titan tracked Wildcat and made Lightning Racer this incredible dueling RMC. But now that Wildcat's an RMC, I obviously don't think this is going to happen. I think that'd be better suited for Titan track and some reprofiling to make the ride more extreme. I think that's what they should do.
Colin, you saying that Lightning Racer to get the Titan track? That's what you're alluding
I
to?
think Lightning Racer should get
Yeah.
Titan track and
Yeah.
profile changing to make it more extreme.
Yeah, I think that the best thing that did happen was, think about it, that the single Wildcat coaster got RMC'd. Now it's going to be a standout coaster in that area. It's the perfect spot to have it too, right in the middle, because it stands out because there is a restaurant there and you can see it like when you're outside of Hershey, and that's right there. That's pretty cool to have that standout coaster right there, which will eventually be Wildcat's Revenge.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
All right. Next up, Ghost Rider. I don't classify as a GCI. It's one of my favorite wooden coasters, and night rides are amazing.
Yeah, night rides on it are incredible.
Yeah, that ride is great. I rode that all the time, and I rode that like 3 times in the night on when I went there in August. Oh man, I love Ghost Rider. It's one of the best coasters up there with Accelerator and Hang Time. Those are the 3 best coasters.
The operations on it are garbage, but it's whatever.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I concur. Yeah, you're right. There's always a line for that.
It takes about 2-3 minutes minimum to send out a train. Most
my
of the time
God.
it's about 5 minutes. I counted it one time because I was just sitting there in line with nothing to do.
Yeah. If you do not have no pass whatsoever, you're fresh out of luck, let me tell you.
Yeah, well,
gotta have a
this year
pass.
I actually sort of lucked out. I was at Disney. I did Knott's in Disney and Magic Mountain back in April, and I was at Disneyland on like my second day, and most things closed, and it was pouring rain. And unlike Disney World, they don't really expect rain, so that most of their stuff is not covered, and so if you're sitting in line, you're not going to be covered up at all. So I was just like a little bored, and Knott's Berry Farm is 10 minutes away, and I have a platinum pass, so I just drove over to Knott's Berry Farm, and they opened some of the coasters almost immediately when I got there after lightning stopped. And
Nice.
so I ended up getting like 10 or 12 rides on Ghost Rider in a row.
Wow. That's great for you.
Silver Bullet a couple
Ooh.
times. Hang Time. Accelerator was closed. I've actually
Yeah.
never ridden Accelerator, even though I've
too
been
bad.
to the
That's
park.
fun.
It's a great coaster.
I've been going for like 6 years now to the
We had
park.
the ERT
And
on that coaster. We had the ERT on Accelerator Coaster Con in the morning. I'll never forget. Like somebody asked, like one ride op is like, "How often does this thing roll back?" Because like Dragster does every once in a while. The guy's like, "It never does." And literally the first launch, it rolled back.
wow.
How many times did you get on Accelerator, Bob?
It was my 300th. I got on it
Wow.
6 or 7 times.
What about you? How many times you got on Hang Time, Jack?
I think I've only been on it twice actually.
Hang Time
I
in the
went
I
on it.
wish you got on it. It's a great ride.
You get like ripped over the top if you sit in the back row.
You
on that.
do.
Yeah,
You do. It's intense.
I went on it back in 2019 and then again this year, and it was pretty great.
Now, my question in regards to the distance between, what's the distance? How long it took you to get from Disneyland to Knott's?
It's 5 minutes away. It's easy.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
maybe 10 minutes at the most.
Geez, they both
and
in
then-
Anaheim. Wow.
And I only spent less than an hour at Knott's Berry Farm and got all those
Wow.
rides, and then drove
Wow.
back to Disneyland and continued the day there.
Oh, the food is great. Right behind Hang Time, the barbecue place.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I'm talking
right.
about?
Yeah, it was
That
awesome.
damn thing! I did not know
I,
they had something
I
great in
never
there. That was awesome.
I never thought I'd like anything boysenberry, but I had boysenberry.
Oh my
meatballs,
god, the
and
boysenberry wings! You had the
boysenberry
boysenberry wings?
Boysenberry meatballs were amazing.
Oh, they were good. Yeah, I had the chicken
I
wings
went-
too.
I went during the Boysenberry Festival.
Oh,
and
man.
it was great. They had like boysenberry rubbed steak and some other great things. They had fries with a little boysenberry dipping sauce. It was pretty good.
Woo! Listen, I had everything, and I had 2 meals to burn. So I had the brisket, the boysenberry meatballs, the chicken wings, and they had some kind of special mac and cheese. Colin, you definitely got to go in there. You'll like that place. That place is good.
You're talking to a guy that eats like 4 things though, Ace. Come on.
Yeah, he's not going to be that
But,
adventurous.
You want to hear something funny? When we had our trip, my godmother was ringing through her head. She was saying, "Colin only eats hamburgers and pizza." My godmother was telling me. I was like, "Really? That is Colin. He eats hamburgers and pizza." Is that true,
All right,
Colin?
enough of that. Moving on. Physical Colossus is amazing for sure. X2 can be very unenjoyable at times. Definitely an odd ride experience. Good to know.
Yeah, it's a great ride.
I think El Toro was going to run into another problem in 2023.
No.
I'm going to say
No.
a thing because I don't want to jinx anything. I'm going to say no.
No.
If they took their time with this repair to do what really needs to be done, then no.
I'm praying that they did not half-ass it, and they pretty much just sat on their hands, and they did what they're supposed to do. It should be good.
Oh, wrong one. Tom?
Yeah, big day for the Devils. They won last night. The Rangers lost. More importantly, that's always great. It's just as good, if not better, than a Devils win. So we'll see how the rest of the season goes. I will keep it short because I know Colin can't stand it. So
That's good.
awesome.
That's good, Tom. That's great to hear, Tom. You need something.
When are tickets for Coaster Stock out?
Oh,
Usually they will announce it like in February or early March, and they do it. They put them out right at the end of March, and it sells out in like 15 minutes. So
okay. The coaster stock is great. Can't wait to go to
Arlington
it.
Park has a rare SNS wood coaster called Hellcat Rough Coaster Befun. I've actually ridden that. I rode it in 2017, and it was brutal.
Yes.
I live very close to
I-
Clemens Park now, so I definitely, like, when we talked about our trip plans for this year for New Jersey parks for me, like, I should go there.
Yeah, you're gonna get the hell beaten out of you, but it'll be worth the credit.
That's
I got
fine.
on it. I got on that coaster. 2 bad things happened to me. Not only did I get the hell beaten out of me, I got a splinter right in my hand. How funny is that, Hellcat? To be Hellcat, a splinter, and I got beaten up.
Yeah, I have no idea how much they didn't do really any retracking before last season because that was the first time it had opened in, I think, since 2019. And because I rode it back in 2019, it was really rough. but I know this past year they like had the back 3 or 4 rows just blocked off because it was too rough to ride. So I'm
Oof.
hoping that they do some retracking this off season. I don't know, maybe Tom, you'll have to go on location and go check it out.
I'll scope it out.
Oh man, thank God I did the front of it. That saved me because it would have been rougher than that if I wasn't in the front when I did it last year in 22.
Yeah.
You did Hellcat, Bob?
I've never been there.
Oof.
From Jangles, perhaps the Hollywood crew could go to the UAE for Formula Rosa. I would not be against that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would love to ride Formula Rosa. And what's the other one? Flying Aces?
Flying
That's like
yeah.
Sky Rush, but it
Wow.
yeah. That'd
So
be great.
lucky. I would love to ride Formula Rosa. Wow. The fastest coasting
That'd be
149.1 mile per hour. Wow.
Colin,
Yeah.
Colin, maybe you can see if you can get some POVs at Six Flags Dubai.
Yeah, maybe. Be the first rider on Falcon's flight.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
just realizing that Clementon Park is a half hour away from me. I don't know why I haven't gone yet, so I should definitely do that.
Yeah, you definitely should go there.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that they're gonna open up the Eagle, the Flying Eagle, or whatever they call it, the Falcons flight at Six Flags Dubai, guys?
I think but it's going to be different than how it was.
Yeah, that's extreme. 13,000 feet long and 500 and
Yeah.
something feet. Oh no, they're gonna have some
That
adjustments.
sounds ridiculous.
Also,
That's
just
crazy.
so everyone knows, in the chat, Falcon's flight is at Six Flags in Saudi Arabia, not Dubai.
I meant to say Saudi Arabia, not Dubai. Yeah, that's Saudi Arabia. Wow, that would be sick. There's no way that coast is going to be the way it is. That they say 13,000 feet long and 155 miles per hour and 550 feet tall. That's insane. Wow.
You have any career aspirations to work in the theme park industry, or are you going in another direction? So it really depends. I mean, personally, I'm trying to pursue an engineering path and hopefully become a mechanical engineer. But of course, people change their minds, so I guess we'll see what really happens. My end goal would be to be a designer of roller coasters and amusement rides. Of course, not all dreams work out. This has been working out pretty good, so who knows? Maybe I'll pursue something along these lines. But currently, I'm looking down the engineering path. So maybe I'll end up in the theme park industry. I would like to.
Yeah, I could see you in that. That'd be great.
They got a new Galaxy, so there's a new credit for you, Ace, according to Lucan.
Yeah.
Has anyone heard from Mr. Toro? Yeah. Bob, do you miss the legendary elite best coaster Cedar Point ever had, Wicked Twister?
I mean, I never rode it. Like, I rode it, but like, I didn't ride it regularly or anything because I just didn't care. I mean, they're fun, but like, I wasn't gonna wait in line for it. It's fine. I mean, it was great on this like skyline, but I think I like what they're doing with the boardwalk area. Like, the Wild Mouse edition's weird, but like, it's gonna look really nice. It's gonna be another family type area of the park with a nice big restaurant and stuff like that. And then, you know, they're gonna turn around and do whatever with Dragster, you know, and hopefully add other stuff in the future.
Yeah, they that's great that they're gonna do that. And then I heard that they're gonna do something around that area around Dragster.
Well,
to tie that into the new area that they're doing this year, which is great.
Again, through the grapevine, I saw that they were moving the corporate people to a new set of offices at the sports complex down the street. So I'm wondering if they're going to tear down that building and open up some more land over there too eventually.
Oh, nice.
So guys, at 10:15, I will be closing the chat to any new questions. So send in your questions now. At 10:15, I will put a line in the chat, and that will be where the final questions are. Just letting you all know in the chat. Anyways, moving on to the next question. What was your guys' latest experience with Twisted Cyclone? There were out of order signs on multiple rows on both trains last time I visited. I think when we were there in August, there were a few rows closed on the different trains. I think if you look in my reverse POV too from Twisted Cyclone, you can see a couple rows closed. But I don't know. I think it's probably because you were there towards the end of the season and they were just kind of trying to make do until they got to the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember any like out of order signs anywhere. I mean, we were only targeting the front and the back, so we were okay on that end.
The important rows were open.
Yes.
What do you guys like better, Reese's Extreme Cup Challenge or Cup Fusion? Cup Fusion's so much better. I mean, Extreme Cup Challenge was cool because it was like retro and old, but it was old. Cup Fusion's actually a really good dark ride.
It is. I just miss the campiness of Extreme Cup Challenge though. Like that was always my favorite when I used to go as a kid.
Yeah.
Right. All right, next up. And by the way, chat line is down, so no more questions after that. Let's see. I love Wildcat at Hershey Park. I do not mind the rough ride, and I like the brakes that sound like a seal. Yeah, I hope they find a way to keep that. I always like the seal sounds.
Yeah, maybe a little speaker playing that sound.
And just the squeaking.
Yeah.
How many RMCs has everyone ridden? You got to give me a minute here because
I also need a second.
Okay, let's RCDB this one for me because I'm not sure.
I'm just pulling up my spreadsheet here.
I am also pulling up my spreadsheet.
I have ridden, according to my spreadsheet, I have ridden 12 RMCs. So is this alphabetical? No, this is not alphabetical. But I've ridden Iron Gwazi, Steel Vengeance, Lightning Rod, Storm Chaser, Twisted Timbers, Outlaw Run, Iron Rattler, Wonder Woman, Golden Lasso Coaster, Jersey Devil, Wicked Cyclone, Twisted Cyclone, New Texas Giant. That's all of them. And then you can expect to add Wildcats Revenge this year for sure.
One,
on 16 of them.
16?
3, 4. I know I got 4 of the single rail.
25. I've been on 16.
So I got 4 single rail plus you got the Texas, so that's 2. See, I'm talking about the regular hybrids, so that's 2. It goes on to the 4 plus Twisted Cyclone plus the one in Vallejo, the Joker, plus Twisted Cyclone, Wicked Cyclone, Twisted Colossus. Twisted Colossus, Twisted. Let's see, so many. So Twisted Timbers, Steel Vengeance, Iron Gwazi, Storm Chaser. What's the other one? I know I've been probably close to 20 because you got those single rail coasters too. I've pretty much been on everything except Storm Chaser. And there's another one in South Dakota, right? Is there another RMC in South Dakota?
They never opened that.
No.
They never built it. They
So
canceled.
the only one I haven't been on is the Storm. Which one? Say Stunt Pilot. Yeah, Stunt Pilot. That's the only one I haven't been on.
All right.
What
so
about
I've been
Zadra?
I've been on Goliath.
No, I'm talking about in America. I'm talking about in the United States.
I've been on Goliath, Iron Gwazi, Iron Rattler, Jersey Devil.
Oh my God, yeah.
Lightning Rod, New Texas Giant, Outlaw Run,
Right.
Steel Vengeance, Storm Chaser, Twisted Colossus, Twisted Cyclone, Twisted Timbers, Wicked Cyclone, and Wonder Woman in Texas.
How many
I'll
is
make
that?
this easy. I've
That's
done
16.
Yeah,
I'll make
there's
this
like
easy.
20,
I've
right?
done-
Be nice.
There's 23. 2 are being built right now. So
How many before the ones that's being built? How many are there, including Stunt Pilot?
there's on RCDB. There's 25 listed, and that includes the 2 being built.
So that means I've been on probably like 21 or something like that, because I've been on all of them except Stunt Pilot.
All right, Tom, go ahead.
I've been on 5. Just Steel Vengeance, Twisted Timbers, Wicked Cyclone, Twisted Cyclone, and Jersey Devil. So there's my 5.
Jack?
I've been on 6. Everyone Tom went on plus Twisted Colossus.
Very nice. Which coaster has the most and best airtime, Phoenix or El Toro? El Toro.
El Toro.
No
El Toro.
contest.
Hands down, no contest.
Phoenix is great, but Toro has it.
I don't know.
Toro
You don't.
with that.
There's not an option to not wear a seatbelt on Toro.
Well, I mean, there's a dangerous option to do that.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I say Toro. Colin, how is Munchie doing? I think Munchie's trying to sleep right now. But
Oh
she's
wow.
You're gonna go in there, and like the dog's gonna be like on the couch, and Riley's gonna be in the cage.
Yeah, probably. I think they moved her into my parents' room now, so hopefully she'll be a little quieter. I'm patiently waiting for Great Adventure to announce what they're doing. I know it's probably the kid coaster, but still, I'm very excited to see what they're doing. what they're getting in 2023 is the one thing I actually don't know much about. Hopefully, it doesn't mean they're getting nothing, but at least we know they're getting Barnstormer.
Right, I was about to say that, but they're definitely getting Barnstormer for 2023, so that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Why does RMC hybrid coasters not fat friendly? You got any tips for a bigger person like me trying to fit in? I'm 5'3", 260 pounds.
Man.
My chest area. No, RMC hybrid coasters are not
They're really
big person
the
friendly at all.
ones that run the Gerstlauer trains, or at least Iron Rattler, is much wider, but their own RMC trains are just brutal.
My
Yeah.
best advice, and this is for any coaster really, just go breathe in as much as you can and pull everything in that you can. It's going to be very uncomfortable, but that's the only way you can even try to make it work.
Also,
Yeah.
definitely try the test seat.
Yes, try the test seat before you wait in line.
Yeah, the restraints are brutal, especially on the shins and the legs. Man, I'm telling you, that's where all the force goes at, right in your legs when you're going through all the inversions and everything. I'm sure y'all noticed that, guys.
Yeah,
It hurts.
I'm not that big, so it doesn't bother me. Anyways,
Yeah, that's right.
Drift is the League 2024 coaster coming to Universal Studios Hollywood. Rumored to be a large-scale, intimate, multi-dimension coaster. It's going to be really cool. And Bob, Universal has the studio tour. Which
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. That was really cool. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
cool.
probably the best thing there.
Next up, from Jangles Front Bottom, what do you think the Gav Giga will be called? I've
Ooh.
heard Titan tossed around, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because it's a reused name. I really think they should bring back a legacy name. I wouldn't mind
Rolling
seeing
Thunder.
Scream Machine again. I don't think
Oh,
Rolling
Scream
Thunder
Machine.
would work well for a Giga. Shockwave
What about
would-
the Scream Machine would run for the Giga? You saying? Oh,
Great
what about the
American
Chiller?
Scream Machine. Not,
Oh.
No, Chiller doesn't make any sense.
Great American Scream Machine.
I think they should come up with a nice, unique, original.
Goliath.
Such a
Oh,
no.
you said original name.
Went against everything I just said.
Oh, no, I'll put the cart before the horse on that one. So, original
You know damn
name.
well they're called Aquaman.
Remember when
Aquaman
we
the Water.
thought we all thought Medusa was gonna be Aquaman or Riddler?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Look at the colors.
Because it was until they decided against it.
Right.
Anyways, moving on. You see Great Adventure getting one of those dueling kitty coasters going to Over George and Kiss, Texas. Talked about this earlier. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I would definitely like it to come because I love Great Adventure, of course. But I wouldn't be rooting for it to definitely come. There's a rumor of Batman: The Dark Knight being. I have not heard that rumor, so
No.
I'm not sure about that. Hellcat was pretty bad. It's much worse near the back. Yeah, I rode it a few. That's one of the rides. Somehow I do actually remember the experience I had on it all the way back 6 years ago now. Well, 5.5 years, and it was just so brutally rough. The jackhammering was the worst I've ever experienced. Let's see here. Six Flags Qiddiya is in Saudi Arabia, and Falcon's Flight is likely to be built. Prep work has been done. Well, I mean, it's cool, I guess. As long as it doesn't take Kaz height record, I'm fine.
I mean, I think it is, because looking at the footers and stuff, it pretty much looks surprisingly like the animation in terms of like where
Wow.
it is, and it's literally being built still on that giant like cliff,
Oh,
which is
Jesus.
at least over 400 feet tall.
Wow.
That's just so ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
I don't
Make a big-
want to take an hour height record either. So I concur with you on that, Colin. Wow. I'm not happy about that.
I think it's a 50-50 for Qiddiya. Yeah, I mean, they could always pull the plug at any point. Looking for a job as a ride operator. Any advice for me? It will be at a FEC. What's an FEC?
Family Entertainment Center.
Okay. iPlay is a good option. What's it called?
There's also in Mount Laurel the Funplex.
Funplex in Mount Laurel, and there's one up north Jersey too. I don't know where you're located, but those are the Jersey ones I know of.
Yeah, I mean, being a ride op was cool for what it is. It was my first job. It'll teach you a lot about working with the public, so it's definitely good for that. And then there's certain perks too that can appeal to the enthusiast side. But like with any job, it'll be what you put into it.
All right, moving on. We're almost done with the questions. Hellcat so far is the only wooden coaster where I felt my brain moving. Yeah, Hellcat's brutal. Most anticipated collaboration for 2023 with other content creators. That's a good question. I don't have any plans right now, but I have tons of friends in the coaster community, lots of which are also fellow content creators. So I'm looking to make 2023 the best year yet for content. I know I did a lot more than I had done previously in 2022. 2022 was definitely a really big year. Looking to make it even bigger this year. More fun stuff, cool vlogs from different parks, POVs, voiceover videos, the predictions. I'm trying to put everything together, see what works, see what doesn't. I also want to try to aim for something kind of down the documentary line. I definitely would like to do something for Great Adventure, different like old defunct coasters, revive the Dead Coaster series. Lots of stuff I have ideas for. Let's put it that way. And the last question.
Okay.
What band can Disney theme rock and roll?
I have a buddy who works for ESPN, which is owned by the same thing as Disney, and he's a huge Disney fan. So he really thinks deep into this stuff. And we had this conversation over dinner one time for an hour. We were trying to figure out who was a timeless band that would relate to modern generations and things. And we struggled because we were talking. This was a couple years ago. So at the time we were like, oh, are they going to retheme it? Remember, there's a big rumors they were going to retheme it to Hannah Montana at the time and stuff like that back when. And literally the only band we could come up with that's lasted over the last 15 to 20 years was freaking Fall Out Boy. And that was the only one we were all right, well, because the problem is you're, now they're talking about, are they going to go away from Aerosmith because all the allegations against Steven Tyler and all this other stuff. And it's really hard to pick a classic rock band now at this point or anything, especially trying to find ones that don't have baggage and things like that. So, I mean, this
you could go with Puddle of Mud.
Wes Scantlin and this.
You don't want to see Wes Scantlin on Rock and Roller Coaster.
See, I think if they're gonna keep it Rock and Roller Coaster, I mean, obviously they're gonna go rock and roll. But you're right.
Please don't, do the same thing as Overseas.
Yeah. The Overseas one looks horrible.
But without the it's outside, right? It's not covered up
well, it's even worse now.
The Iron Man roller coaster.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they definitely can't do that, and I know they also closed it or have it scheduled to be closed so they can add more to it because it was entirely screens, I believe. It really just shows how a different budget can go for the Disney parks, because I just rode Guardians, which is fantastic. It is easily the best coaster at a Disney park I've been on, and the effects are great. It's perfect. But then Disneyland Paris just took the existing rock and roller coaster, added a couple screens, and listed it off as a new ride. And that's as much effort. Yeah, that's as much effort as Disney puts in when they they do the Star Wars overlay of Space Mountain at Disneyland, and they just add a couple of projector screens, and that's all they need to do for that, because it's a 1 week thing. But this is a permanent new ride, and they just did nothing basically. The queue looks cool. Other than that, no.
Yeah.
So were y'all alluding to the outdoor version clone of the Rock and Roller Coaster that look ugly? Because I looked at that one. I didn't like that one too much.
The Disney.
Disneyland Paris had Rock and Roller Coaster, and it was pretty much exactly the same as the Hollywood Studios version in Florida, until 2 years ago, or maybe they closed it and turned it into Iron Man.
And Iron Man indoors, right?
Yeah, it's all indoors.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I think the problem with something like this, right, is all bands have some degree of controversy behind them. There's not a single group I can think of who doesn't have controversy or won't wind up with controversy. My dad just texted me, Queen could definitely work. Queen is universally loved back then, and now it's still very popular.
It all comes down to money, though, too. That's why they didn't have the Rolling Stones originally. They ended up with Aerosmith because of money. And it's are they going to just do that and take go with their own IP like they seem to be doing across the board? Because that was Iger's thing,
right? I mean, I'm a huge rock and roll fan. So there's plenty of bands I would choose from. I mean, there's just too many options to even list. But I would say they're probably going to pull the route I don't want them to pull, and that is to go for someone who's already a member of their records company. I can't for the life of me remember what it's called, but I know they own their own records company, and basically all the child actors from Disney
Is it
Channel.
not just Disney Records?
Yeah,
No,
Walt Disney Records.
I don't think it's Walt Disney Records. It's something different. It's got a slightly different name, but they take all their Disney Channel actors essentially and pool them into this system where they're going to wind up stuck there basically while they make their
Disney
music.
Music Group?
What?
Is it Disney Music Group?
Disney's not in the name.
Or it's Joe?
Well-
They have Jonas Records. That's the other thing that comes up when I Google Disney Record Company.
Yeah, but that's just because they own the Jonas Brothers.
Right.
You're talking, Colin. Are you talking about Hollywood Records?
It might be that.
Yeah.
It might be that.
That's their subsidiaries of their record labels are Walt Disney Records and Hollywood Records.
It might be Hollywood.
It's the
I
same.
remember seeing in a video somewhere them talking about that. But I think they'll just pull from one of their old Disney Channel stars and like do one of those. I mean, they have had some successes from that, but not rock and roll.
I have a strong feeling it's not going to be anything related to Rock and Roller Coaster.
I think they're just gonna do the same thing like the thing in the fucking Paris one, but with somebody a different IP.
Right.
Something that was floating around in like the Disney community a while ago was that they would retheme it to Monsters Inc. And because
I remember that.
Because you go through the doors in the door factory and that kind of thing. And I feel like that
though.
It would be really
The
strange.
hard part is it's hard to tell a story on a coaster, and that's why they do it so well, because they tell the story before the coaster.
Yeah, and that's why they do it so well in Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's not that you stop in the middle of it, but you slow down and there's like full-on scenes in the middle of the coaster, and then you just like hit another launch and go into a coaster.
That's why Hagrid's works too.
Hagrid's
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Hagrid's is very similar to that, except outdoors and indoors. But you can't do that on Rock and Roller Coaster, which is running on a Vekoma cable launch system. So,
right. There's a lot of different options, though. That's actually a really good question to end it on, because there's so many different answers to that. But that is it for the stream. I do want to say before any of you guys leave, if you haven't been doing so already, on my YouTube community tab, if you don't know how to access that, you go to my channel and then tap the tab or click the tab that says community. Go there, and I've been posting polls daily with every Six Flags park, asking you to pick which one you think is the best coaster at that park. I'm not going to reveal what I'm using that for yet, but there's going to be a couple videos to come from all of that data collected with your input. So definitely go vote in that. Make sure you pick your favorite coaster from each park. If you guys want to give one last plug of all your social media pages, go right ahead, starting with Bob.
PK photo page on everything. Instagram specifically, though.
You can find me at Toms_Tracks99 on Instagram. Like I said, haven't been too active, but we might change that.
Jack?
yeah, Theme Park Picks 55 on Instagram.
And Ace.
Facebook, Ace Car, like in King the Car.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you for joining for the stream. Thank you, all of you, for viewing the stream. And we'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for some videos coming soon.
Peace.